Friday afternoon. He'll go through Atlanta Fire lineup.
Yes, thank you, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗀. And we talked about how strong this team is already off minor league victory. 𝗃𝗍 Pandey, Milanta, Iyad Malik, Zishan Maksud, Jamar Hamilton, Shalivan Squawkwick, Sonny Patel, the captain, Stephen Taylor, a lot of experience there, Pani Simhadri, Azim Chanaria, and Kamrul Rabi.
Two formidable teams looking to go head-to-head. Atlanta Fire, obviously, unbeaten team, the only unbeaten team of the tournament. They also had a day off yesterday from the proceedings by virtue of finishing top of their group. That rest didn't quite help Clarion Eagles earlier, who suffered a defeat in the first semi-final. And the winner of this game will be joining Stallions X in the final, who came up with a near-perfect performance in the morning semi-final. Shadley is getting ready. Ramiz Raja has been in very good form in this tournament. His partner Sharjeel Khan, one big knock and not a lot after that. He's at the non-striker end. Umpire Daniel James is keeping an eye on the clock. It's a 2:40 start, and we're right on cue. And Lenny Achabar looking at the lineups. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, it's gonna be another interesting semi-final, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. We talked about how it was such a big last week for the Atlanta Fire, and they've really played good cricket, unbeaten in the series so far. The Kingsmen, they've put up some very good numbers, especially the man on strike, Ramiz Raja, and so he will face off here. Here is Shadley Squawkwick will start for the Atlanta Fire. Here's the first ball. On target into the offside and can score.
That's a good start. Bowling from the combox end. Shadley Squawkwick. That strong breeze that you can see in the background, the signs fluttering. Those breeze will help his outswinger. Likes to take the ball away from the right-handers with the new ball. It's got a slip in place.
Yes, straight down the ground from Ramiz Raja, and things have begun here. They're 4 for no loss.
Yeah, that's a good start. He's aerial between the bowler and mid-off, presenting a nice straight bat. Ramiz Raja off to a very good start.
Yeah, he's really been in form, Ramiz. And we talked about 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, and we saw in front of our very eyes the big knock the other day, 78, at a time in which he had to limp around quite a bit. And he's really come up with some big scores in this series.
A beautiful outswinger. Nice line, nice length, good bounce. And Ramiz saw the ball coming into his own half. He's not going to come out slow on those, because just the one sweeper on the offside is backward of point on the boundary. Ramiz looking to go big early doors.
Yeah, off the back foot into the offside. And hands the strike over to Sharjeel Khan. You talked about Sharjeel getting a big knock of 80, and we've seen some lean ones after that.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic of Sharjeel. So that first knock and couple of ducks in between and couple of other low scores. He's looking to fight along yesterday in the eliminator. I think he made 11 there. It's really swelled here at the 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 this afternoon. The home team Atlanta Fire is in action.
Yeah, playing a miss and into the gloves of Milanta. So not a bad start here from Shadley. We saw the second ball going straight down the ground from Ramiz Raja. Other than that, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, he's come back extremely well. Very experienced campaigner. Had a very good minor league series out in the West. And he brings the talent to the South. Yeah, Sharjeel will get off the mark, off the edge. And it will go away 4. Well, it will not certainly carry, but couple of runs for shorturl. He's off the mark.
Streaky once again from shorturl. But like any other batter, he will be glad that he's off the mark. 1 over done, 7 for none. When you think of Atlanta Fire, he's some players that you can really quickly link to that franchise, no matter if they're playing minor league or other open tournaments. And one of them is Stephen Taylor. And he will be taking up the attack from the far end.
Yeah, you look at Stephen Taylor, right hand off spinner, and he's using the arm that we saw the left hand got hit during this Super 8s of the minor league series, 𝗂𝗃𝗄𝗧. And you can see it's a little bit in one of those soft casts, those straps that are so popular now. If you're playing cricket, 𝗂𝗃𝗄𝗧, you gotta have one or two in your kits, whether it's for the knee, the ankle, or the arm.
And it's visible there. Stephen Taylor got that protection. Sometimes players use it as a precaution as well, just to allow the injury to heal and not further aggravate it. It's a little hold up in play. Generally, the teams have really been good with the flow of the game. Side screen needs to be moved. I think Ramiz Raja was asking it to be in the correct position, and it has now been done.
Yeah, one of the good things about those side screen, 𝗂𝗃𝗄𝗧, they come on wheels, so quickly easy to pull across.
Yeah, that's another addition to this facility, the 𝗃𝗵𝗴𝗃 Sports Complex. Always when you come back, you find new facilities added to the venue. These side screens, they look pretty good as well, but they're very, very mobile and functional.
So Stephen Taylor driven into the onside. And what we have seen also at some facilities, 𝗂𝗃𝗄𝗧.
Just a little bit of bat, yeah. This year, normally it's not like that. Don't have the screen yet.
So 11 for no loss. We apologize for a little short break. Ramiz Raja still on strike. And Taylor overs has gone pretty well. It comes to an end. 2 gone. It's 11 without loss. So a couple of overs in the books here, 𝗂𝗃𝗄𝗧. 5.5 runs on over. Quiet start here for the Kingsmen. Winning the toss, electing to bat. We've hardly seen teams opting to bat first when winning the toss these days, 𝗂𝗃𝗄𝗧, but the Kingsmen have gone that route.
They did that yesterday as well, although they capitulated for 128. In the end, had to produce an outstanding bowling performance to rescue them and continue their journey in this year's Atlanta Open.
shorturl Khan picks up one from Shadley and hits it into the media tent, and that is gone for 6.
Well, that inward angle from Shadley was asking for trouble. To aid that, he went around the wicket as well to create that angle. Easy pickings really for shorturl. Now he's skipping and hopping shorturl. I think you feel that with this blow he's got his mojo back, and that would not be a good news for Atlanta Fire. Shadley sticking with that round the wicket angle. This is going to be a good contest.
Yeah, running quickly. Good running there. As you see, it looks like Sunny Patel, the captain, comes in.
Yeah, better length there from Shadley. And also the line.
Yes, saw 𝗃𝗄𝗃𝗂𝗀𝗃 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃 a couple of years ago, the year in which Kingsmen won here at the Atlanta Open. He was such a prolific scorer. And when you look at the Kingsmen unit, they're hunting their third final should they win this game. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 comes down a couple of steps, and that is gone for another boundary.
Well, getting a bit predictable as Amir Siddiqui takes the applause of his teammates. The coach jumping well above his head to stop that ball from going any further. That was outside the boundary action, by the way. But the action from 𝗏𝗏's bat, and Shadley's fuller length is causing damage.
Yeah, the over's gone for 11 already. We've seen a 6 from Sharjeel Khan. We've seen a chip down the wicket from Ramiz Raja, and you get the feeling 𝗃𝗄𝗃𝗃, those shots comes in because he's had such a good series that he goes out with a lot of confidence that he can play almost any shot he wants to.
Yeah, you feel like the way the weather is, and I don't know how it is, but it feels like a good seeing day for the batters. It is just so bright and beautiful.
Yeah, playing a miss. He takes on Shadley van Schalkwyk. The ball goes into the glove of Milanta. Still a very good over here for the Kingsmen.
Talking about Shadley getting predictable, he brought out the short ball, and you saw reaction of 𝗏𝗏 throwing his head back. I thought he felt he missed out on the opportunity.
So the Kingsmen winner in 2023, runners up in 2024. We talked about if they get into this final, it'll be the third time. Into the onside, we'll close out over number 3. So 3 gone, it's 23 for no wicket. And 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, I know when you and Brian Walters, we were talking about, you guys were talking about white close cricket and red ball. One of the other things I've seen, and I can't remember which cricket ground I had gone to, but I've seen, and we talked about the wheels on those side screen. They also come with white and black, just in case this pitch here is to host a red ball game, in which, of course, you can't use the black. And I can't remember where I saw that, but those are little simple innovations that really help your complex running, as many complex not only play white ball, they play red ball too.
Yeah, these are easy maintenance side screens as well. It's just like the pull down, that black sheet that you're seeing. It's a pull down, just like blinds at your house, so you can easily swap it for black or white.
So Taylor continues, and this one, a big shot attempted here by 𝗏𝗏, gets a good slice, gone away for 4.
Well, 𝗏𝗏, like he said, he's come into this innings with so much confidence. He's going at everything in his arc, and some are coming off the middle of the bat, the others aren't. But as a batsman, when you're in hot form, things tend to go your way. So was the case. 𝗏𝗏 getting a lucky boundary.
Yeah, look at that. A more confident looking shot. Classic from Ramiz Raja, and consecutive 4s.
Yeah, this is great bit of footwork. 𝗏𝗏 looks like he's one step ahead of Taylor. And skipping down the wicket, looking to move away towards the leg stump as well to open up that offside. Obviously the off spinner, not much protection in the deep inside the power play.
So a couple of 4s off the bowling of Taylor, and straight away they've gone over 9. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, and we're still in the power play, and so they're off to a really quick start. Look at that, hands a strike over to shorturl. We've seen in the last over a massive shot from shorturl, but this over's gone for 9 so far.
And that's a favorable matchup for Taylor to bowl to the left-hander. shorturl now, it's his turn to join in on the fun. Taylor going for boundaries against both left-handers and right-hander.
Yeah, another big shot from shorturl Khan. He's such a quality player, quick scoring. Now look at that, the left-hander into the leg side. And a big flick forward of square gone for 4. And we've seen a very expensive over so far from Stephen Taylor, gone for 14 and still with a ball remaining.
He's been too close to the batter, Stephen Taylor. In Ramiz's case, he was wide, and in shorturl's case, too close to the pads.
Yeah, ball turned away. And they'll come back for a couple of runs. So the 4th over comes to a close. 𝗂𝗽𝗂𝗃 at an expensive one from Stephen Taylor. 16 off this over. 4 gone is 39 for no wicket.
Difficult match to commentate after lunch. I need to walk.
So 4 overs completed. 39 for no loss 𝗂𝗽𝗂𝗃. And they're going at almost, well, they're going at 9.7. Very close to 10, and we're still 2 overs away from that power play session. Both batters have had some really good knock on the cricket ball. Ramiz, as you can see, he's up on 23 and shorturl is up on 16. Bowling change. 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, a player who has played briefly at the international level, comes out of Bangladesh. And 𝗂𝗽𝗂𝗃, I've seen quite a bit of him. He lives in New York, and so he plays in the leagues that we do a lot of work with.
Yeah, it's first time representing Atlanta Fire. And pace from this combox end so far from skipper Sunny Patel. That's the options he's taken. 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
Yeah, he starts well, and then I just made a point that I've seen him in New York. Quite a few top Bangladeshi players that resides around where I'm from, 𝗂𝗽𝗂𝗃. The likes of Farhad Riza, Ilyas Sani. There's another one that bowls medium pace.
Left arm, fast bowler.
They don't come to your head
Yeah,
when you
I
want
can
it.
think of him, but the name is just not.
Oh, lovely shot. That's a good strike into the 10th. And that is gone for another maximum of the batter shorturl Khan.
Well, these are not good signs for Atlanta Fire. shorturl getting into his stride. This one went flat and only landed just a few yards outside of the fence. But shorturl, the longer he stays, the more and more dangerous he could be for the Fire.
Yes, he's really looking solid. And look, they've gone up to a quick score, going 10 and over. But just coming back to 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, he was also part of the Global Super League series in Guyana that the Rangpur Riders, I think, have gone to a couple of years. So he's been part of that contingent.
Yeah, Rangpur Riders were the champions as well of that event. But Atlanta Fire would need to break this partnership now because it can become very dangerous.
Yeah, guided away past a backward point. Runs here for Ramiz Raja. And he picks up a couple more.
𝗵𝗺 𝗬𝗃𝗧 gives the chase. Wow, what a start. On the cusp of getting up to 50. 48, 4.4. It's coming from both ends, both from Ramiz and shorturl.
Yeah, better ball here from 𝗵𝗺, but you get the feeling 𝗃𝗄𝗽𝗃, you're bowling at this stage. The team is going for a 10 and over. You've given up an over that has conceded 9. Your only hope here is to pick up 1. Final ball in this over. Chipped into the onside. The captain, Sunny Patel, comes around, and so 5 gone is 49 without loss.
Atlanta Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
Skipper Sunny Patel decides that it's about time for me to enter the fray. A terrific right arm leg spinner, a great competitor as well. And this is a great start for Kingsmen as Brian Walters has joined me in the comm box. Over covers, that will bounce away to the boundary. 50 brought up in style. And the assault continues from these Kingsmen openers.
I'll tell you what, as lethargic and underprepared as the batting side looked yesterday, the Kingsmen, they look on top of their game today. The biggest difference for me here, Shah Faisal, is Shardul Khan. 23 from 12, 1-4, 2 sixes, one of which went over our heads here in the commentary area. If this pair can stay there for another 5 or so overs, then God help the poor Atlanta Fire, because this pair has set themselves up for a big total here. Projection as of now is 205.
Oh, that Sunny Patel, though he's quite capable of making inroads, and he'd have to be at his very best. Sunny Patel had a fabulous minor league championship, obviously part of the eventual winners, the Atlanta Fire. And this is the repeat of that final, although hero from that final, Aaron Jones, is not present here for the Atlanta Fire. Good comeback after the boundary from Sunny Patel. Now shorturl, still power play, still field in, and shorturl doesn't ask for anything better than that. And he has the license after that start that he's got already. Sharp spinning leg break.
Leg break is a bit of a risk from around the wicket to Shardul Khan, who loves going to mid-wicket. I would think here Sunny Patel would want to go with the googly.
Close, but not close enough. That desperate leap, not quite enough to get to the ball.
Well,
it's again a little bit too full in the hitting arc of shorturl.
𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 is an extremely athletic fielder, but not even he could have gotten to that one. Up to his left, and maybe over his arm by maybe. Look at that. Just less than a foot probably.
Did you see that leap though? He just sprung into action and leapt no less than 3 feet, I would make, because he really, and also he timed the jump to perfection, so by the time the ball passed his hands, it was just a few inches away. Power play done and dusted in the meantime. 10 of the over. It's a 59 for none. That was some leap if you could see it again. Talk about this, Brian Walters.
Well, the 1993 version of me would have been proud of that. Up to his left. That was very athletic. Look at this. Again, 𝗏𝗏𝗂𝗀𝗃, very fit. If you know anything about him, look at that. Just well off the ground. If you know anything about him, he takes his fitness very seriously. Just takes care of his body. If you see him, he's chiseled out of rock almost. And I'll tell you that if he can't get to it, nobody else can.
It's gone up. 1 bounce to Zishan Maksud, is it?
Nope. This is Jamar Hamilton on the boundary. Well, they look exactly alike, 𝗏𝗏𝗃. I can see why you would make that mistake.
Yes. Whoa.
In the meantime, it's going to be 𝗧 𝗦𝗽𝗃 bowling from the southern end of the ground, about in fact, the first over out of the power play. 𝗲𝗺𝗻𝗻 𝗏𝗏𝗃 behind the stumps to Jamar Hamilton. Roams the outfield. Jamar Hamilton, to me, one of the more exciting players around. He is a live wire anywhere on the field.
Yeah, no disrespect to 𝗲𝗻𝗻 𝗏𝗏𝗃, as you see this delivery, 𝗲𝗻𝗻𝗏 𝗏𝗏𝗃 could well be on par with the wicket-keeping skills of Jamar Hamilton. But the other antics of Jamar Hamilton behind the stumps, surely 𝗏𝗏𝗃 can't match them.
I was at the minor league final last Sunday. I was trying in vain to make a point, but the calypso music was going in the background, and Jamar Hamilton is having a full-on dance session behind the stumps, and I had such a hard time keeping a straight face through all of that.
It's a very underrated cricketer, this Azim Charania. He played bits and pieces part in Atlanta Fire's winning campaign, not an ever-present. Meanwhile, Ramiz Raj at the non-striker end. What is happening there? Today is not warm. Did he pinch something again? He had that injury scare earlier. Talking about Azim Charania, he's a very useful cricketer. Well, shorturl, when he's in this kind of mood, he's not going to spare anyone. 1 bounce over the fence.
Well, how is he looking today, Shorturl Khan? And as inept as he looked the last couple of days, he looks absolutely on fire today. Maybe landing less than a yard from going all the way for 6. He's absolutely looking on fire. Shorturl Khan now 33 from 17, 3 4s and 2 6s. And the table is well and truly set.
It's a big shot. Oh, Azim cannot believe it. Shorturl for once missing one. And Azim Charania, the return of just 6 runs is a good one in the context of what's gone on around him.
Yep.
7 gone, 65 for none.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and 𝗃𝗃 Real Estate, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket, and T Sports.
felt 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 was in some sort of problem. He's getting his lower back attended to. It's brutal, this tournament. Game every day for the 6th day in the running, and 𝗵𝗃, who's been keeping wickets at times as well. That is hard work.
I think we've seen one match, maybe two, where he was not the keeper. So imagine opening the batting for, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 overs, and then keeping for 20. That is hard work. And then to do it consecutive days, 3-4 days in a row, that's essentially, I would imagine, I've never kept, but I would imagine that as a keeper, that would certainly be difficult on your back.
Big shout, and the finger's gone up. Yeah, that little break for injury, 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 misses one from Sunny Patel, and Atlanta Fire celebrate.
He talked about the brilliance of Sunny Patel. Gets that one right in front. My impression, we're a little bit not directly square of the wicket, or not directly on here, but that's the googly. And that hits him on the back pad. My goodness. Umpire thinking that this one is just going down and maybe hitting the outside of leg stump. In the event, umpire believes that that is a dismissal, and so that is the only thing that matters. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 helps his team out to a fast start, 32 from 25, 5 fours. I don't know that you'd be very upset that 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 has been dismissed. Assuming that he'll be keeping, you wouldn't mind him taking a few overs in the shade to put his feet up ahead of what will likely be a long day. And that man striding to the middle, Shah Faisal, Milind Kumar, will be a handful.
Well, he's been in sensational form, Milind Kumar. Played a wonderful knock yesterday, but that century earlier in the week was outstanding knock, an innings-saving knock for his team. What Kingsmen need to guard against is that kind of collapse they had yesterday. After looking pretty solid, they capitulated to 128 all out in their 20 overs, and Atlanta Fire will be hoping for the same return because Sunny Patel, a wicket early into his second over, he'll have his tail up. Can't afford to bring any close-in catchers, the kind of prolific the batting lineup is, even against the new man.
Milind Kumar leading the team in runs. Get a single here. I think you've seen 151 as a strike rate. That is setting a standard. And if you think somebody with 150 strike rate, you expect for them to be built like Shardul Khan. Milind Kumar, relatively thin, but he packs an absolute punch. And he can play conventionally, tap the ball around if he needs to, but his power game is relentless. And so expect for him to be the one to sort of steady the ship. A little bit of a wobble with the loss of 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃, but by no means are the Atlanta Fire out of trouble yet.
Beautifully bowled, making Shardul stress and out of his comfort zone, reaching out for the delivery. Shardul's role is crucial here to allow that time to Milind Kumar. Misses out again. That one kept a little low. Wishful view towards the umpire, looking for a wide. Beautiful change of pace from Sunny Patel, slows it down. Once again, Shardul stretches out and couldn't do much more with. Look at this over. A wicket and 1 run. Wow. And it will stay that way. Terrific response from the Atlanta Fire captain. 7 done, 8 done in fact, 66 for 1. Now this lad with the ball in hand is a serious cricketer. 𝗍 𝗦𝗂𝗪𝗓, former captain of Oman national team.
Yep.
He is 2-in-1 cricketer. He can hold his place in any 11 as a bowler and as a top batter. Generally bats at number 4. Loves to navigate run chases. 5 wickets in the tournament so far.
Seen 𝗍 𝗦𝗂𝗪𝗓 on the circuit here in the U.S. for a while. Played a few matches, Oman against the U.S. in my part of the country, in Prairie View, a few years ago. Since then has relocated to the U.S. Brilliant cricketer. Always have had a lot of respect for him, both as a destructive batter and as a really tight bowler. And as a bowler, he has absolutely just brilliant stats. For me, the best thing about him is his ability to hold down the runs. Look at this catching opportunity. My goodness. It's going to go for 4, but that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you eat a cricket ball. Sunny Patel, very lucky there. Caught himself in between 2 bounces, if you will, and eventually just tried to make his body as big as possible so the ball couldn't get by him. There. Those usually sometimes end up in your face.
This is a teeth breaker, they call it.
Yes.
Sunny Patel went for the aggressive option. Went for the catch, realizing how important Sharjil's wicket is. And I don't think you can fault him for doing that. Even if he conceded the boundary, that will still go down as a brave effort by the skipper, showing the way to his troops. That's in the gap and bounces over the boundary. Slower in pace from 𝗍 𝗦𝗂𝗪𝗓, and Sharjil read it.
He did absolutely read it. Look at this. Maybe just a little bit, maybe too straight, going down the leg side, maybe on leg stump, but with the angle, left arm over the wicket, that's always taking it down the leg side. And again, this is the shorter side of the ground, so not much difficulty in putting that one away.
Runs continue to come despite the loss of Ramiz Raja. 10 of this 𝗍 𝗦𝗂𝗪𝗓 over so far with 1 to go. And that is, I was making a point that Sharjil needs to continue to allow Milind Kumar that time to get settled in the crease. And this is how Milind Kumar loves to build his innings.
Yep.
Single will close out over number 9. 11 of it. 76-77 for 1. The energy is it will be the big final tomorrow, starting at noon. Stallion X have already made their way into the final. The second semi-final between Atlanta Fire and Kingsmen. Really evenly poised. You would think that Kingsmen, after winning the toss and batting, have got their noses in front. But there's still plenty of cricket left, and we've seen many innings capitulate between over number 9 and 14 in that middle phase. And that is what Kingsmen will have to guard against, losing wickets.
So the counter argument to the Kingsmen, or the Kingsmen having their nose in front. The overall run rate for the innings is 8.56, but the last 5 overs, the run rate has been 7.6. So they're slowing down. They've actually decelerated from the fast start. So over by over, the Atlanta Fire is getting back into this match. So 4 delivers remaining before you're at the halfway stage. And you do know that the Kingsmen bat very deep, but a good effort with the ball so far from Atlanta Fire.
Especially Sunny Patel, you look his figures into his 3rd over. He's really put the brakes on. That's what I said, when there's still plenty of time left. And a couple of wickets now, coupled with the reduction in scoring rate in the last 5, would really bring Atlanta Fire back into the game. With more protection in the deep. Spinners come into play with slightly older ball. Run scoring can be difficult, and the batters, if they're not careful, Atlanta Fire, what ideally they would want is to get 2 new batters in the middle right now. So that's why 𝗃𝗍𝗪's wicket is key. And if 𝗂𝗍𝗪𝗃𝗀𝗃 could knock him over, that'll be good news for Atlanta Fire.
With the fall of the next wicket, I would not be surprised for the new batter to be the captain, Saad Ali. But if you wanted to move the chess pieces around on the board a little bit and think, okay, let's try to make sure that we always have a lefty and a righty at the crease. The next man in could be somebody like a Hassan Khan.
It's gone up, but not far enough. In fact, landing inside the 30-yard circle. I was looking around the boundary, and only to see the ball had landed in the 30-yard ring. Another very good over from Sunny Patel. At the halfway stage, the Kingsmen, after winning the toss and batting first, 80 for 1.
So the action continues. 80 at the end of 10. And more runs here, this time off the bat of Milind Kumar. He picks up 2 more, Brian Walters.
.07 is your economy rate. 8.07 translates, Lenny, to a score of 161, which would be, I think, a handful for a semi-final match.
A big shot here from Milind Kumar. Gone out of the playing area. And that's 6 runs for Milind Kumar.
The rest of that statement that I was going to make is I think that the Kingsmen would be disappointed if after this start they only ended up with 160. And you see that shot from Milind Kumar. It tells you that he is ready to go for much more than that. Valiant effort on the boundary by the captain, Sunny Patel, but that ball goes all the way for 6.
And Brian, what we have seen from the 2 matches, the 2 semi-finals so far, the team batting first have posted, well, we saw when Stanley and X batted, they posted 68 off the 10 over mark. And you look what has happened here. We came in at the end of 10 over, it was 80. And it's becoming clear that conditions have really improved for batting in the last day or so. And we've seen a very good knock from Sharjeel Khan so far.
Kingsmen will love the fact that their big left-hander has come back to form. 44 from 28, looking very dangerous. 5 4s and 2 6s, and he's not done yet. And at this phase of the innings, him against Zishan Maksud and against Azim Charania, those are 2 really, really important matchups, with him being a big hitting left-hander to those 2 left-handed orthodox bowlers.
Yeah, you're right on that, and you've got a player in Milind Kumar who's more of a touch player, can score quickly when he wants to. And we've seen 11 in this over. We've seen a 6, and then they've really played the ball around. Look at that, smashed into the hands of Sunny Patel in front of us, and that's the end of Sharjeel Khan.
He hit it well. I think the second happiest person in the facility right now is Harsh Kandoy, because his back was turned, and had that catch not been taken, it might have smashed directly into the middle of his back. The lesson there, ladies and gentlemen, never turn your back on a cricket ball. But back to the match itself. That's a big wicket. That is a huge wicket. He looked the part, Sharjeel Khan, and was going along well. Good timing the ball, striking it well, and this was struck very well. But unfortunately for Shorturl Khan, directly to Sunny Patel himself. So that is a big wicket. The last ball of over, number 11, produces the second wicket of the innings. The Kingsmen are 91 for 2. Let's see this replay. Let's see if we can get this replay. Oh, the replay from maybe the oh, here we go. Look, this is dead in line. That is absolutely in line. That would have you would certainly need the magic spray for that. But in any event, back to the match itself. A big wicket there. 91 for 2 is the score. End of 11. The over rate, or the run rate rather, 8.27. New man is in, 𝗧 𝗦𝗃𝗍. So it's going to be a lefty and a righty continuing. The left-handed 𝗧 𝗦𝗃𝗍, it's important to the Kingsmen that he stays there because of those two left-handed bowlers, as I mentioned earlier.
So Stephen Taylor continues. New man in, 𝗧 𝗦𝗃𝗍. The captain, Milind Kumar. As the non-strikers in, and we come down to 9 overs remaining for the Kingsmen. Brian, winning the toss, electing to bat. Not a bad start, but we've seen a couple of wickets fall.
Well, the batting today looks more like the Kingsmen team that we know. They struggled yesterday the entirety of the match, really couldn't get anything going with the bat, and only got up to 128, if memory serves correctly. Solid bowling effort took them to victory in that game, but today this means to me that they've come back into form. 𝗧 𝗦𝗃𝗍, the captain, said that they've been struggling a little bit with the bat at the toss, and I think he'll be happy with the efforts with his batting unit so far.
So ball cut away. What an effort we've seen from this fielder. Looks like Zishan Maksud.
That's the one. Always want to have that effort in the field. Zishan Maksud, as the former captain of the Omani national side and a really experienced cricketer, knows that his bowlers will gain energy from him supporting them in the field.
So Taylor comes in for his second over. Couple of overs that are gone for 20, so he's gone. Yeah, third over, sorry. Couple of overs gone for 20 when he started first, so he's gone 10 and over. Into the offside, we saw 𝗧 𝗦𝗃𝗍 probably looking for a big score. When you look across what he has produced this series, Brian Walters, the highest of a 25 in the opening game against the Lightning. Other than that, we've seen some low scores from him. Hoping that he could get a big one today. Oh, very good delivery. Asking some bit of question here. Drawing him forward, Stephen Taylor.
Good comeback over. Stephen Taylor bowled over number 4. That over went for 16 runs. Oh, short. And as good as an over as it was before that ball, he'll give up 3 bonus runs here as that ball going down the leg side for wide. See that confirmed here by umpire Balasubramaniam. There's your signal. So 3 bonus runs. Those hurt. You don't want to give those up. So it would have been an over, only conceding 4 runs, but 7 runs already with 1 still to come.
Yeah, cut away into the offside. Runs there for Milind Kumar. And he picks up a couple more, so that will take the score up to, is it 98? In fact, 100 comes up. It's 100 for 2, Brian, off 12. So 99 for 2. 19. Yeah, figure. It's 100 for 2 off 12. And we've seen a good knock so far from 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃. Saad Ali has not too long come to the crease. And we've still got 8 overs to go, Brian Walters.
8 overs, scoring rate 8.33. If they maintain that scoring rate, they end up at 167. Feels like the projection, which at one point was over 200, Lenny, will have to be modified. And it certainly might be modified more now because of the man on your screen right now, 𝗂𝗵𝗃 𝗂𝗃, who I understand when Nate Hayes and Aman Patel were down here, they referred to 𝗂𝗵𝗃 𝗂𝗃 as the mystery pacer or the mystery medium. I don't mind that at all. He's a brilliant bowler and always leading the tournament in wickets taken. Very difficult for him to be able to be scored off of with his subtle changes and the way that he is such a canny, smart bowler.
Yeah, a lot of variations. And those variations, Brian, not necessarily from the using the seam of the ball, but certainly the pace. He takes a lot of pace off the ball at times, and then sometimes he applies a lot of pace. And he's that type of bowler we saw a few years ago. Had gotten the most wickets at the minor league level. So he comes in here at over number 13. Yeah, turned away nicely here by Saad Ali. He can't score. He remains on 2. This over's gone well for 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃.
Very much so. So, again, he becomes somebody very difficult to accelerate off of. And that, for me, is the key with 𝗂𝗵𝗃 𝗂𝗃 because he reads the situation so well. Is so subtle at making those changes. And you see, even though that goes off the edge for a single, he becomes difficult to put away to the boundary.
Yeah, very good over from him. And you look what he's produced this series so far. Just a couple of wickets for him, but it appears that he's bowled very good economy. And just about 5.3 in T20 cricket. You'll take that any day. And so he comes in here. We've seen 4 balls. He's only given up 1. Couple of balls to go. And he's bowling to 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃, who's been in top form. It's still a very good over here. What a start from 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃.
Really good. Last ball coming up. Just 1 run from his over so far. Just brilliant stuff from 𝗂𝗵𝗃 𝗂𝗃. And so look at that run rate now back down under 8. 7.87. Projection 157. It's going the wrong direction for you if you're the Kingsmen.
Yeah, we'll complete a very tidy over from 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃. Only 2 off that over. And so 13 gone. It's 102 for the loss of 2. So big shot here from 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃 into the hands of Stephen Taylor right on the pitch. And 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃𝗃 falls. It's 102 for 3.
Big wicket this. 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃𝗃 is the leading batter in the side for this entirety of this tournament. And he ends up skying one from Stephen Taylor. Wanted to hit him over the short side of the field. Not able to do anything but get a top edge on that. Ball goes straight up in the air. Stephen Taylor has great hands. Never is he going to drop that. And that is a big wicket.
Yes, Stephen Taylor now picks up his first wicket of this match. Hassan Khan will walk to the middle. We're beginning to see a little bit of fight back here from the Atlanta Fire. Brian Walters, first wicket falling at 65, second at 91. But you look on your card, the third falls at 102. So a couple of quick wickets here, one from Stephen Taylor. And we saw also one from Zishan Maksud. And so Hassan Khan comes to the middle.
Well, I've said that they've maintained the lefty-righty combination with the loss of Sharjeel Khan. Also with the loss of Milind Kumar with Hassan Khan coming to the crease. They do maintain that lefty-righty combination. Hassan Khan, a fearsome hitter of the cricket ball. We referred to him the last several weeks as we've gone through the minor league playoffs and now the Atlanta Open as about the most dangerous all-rounder in the country, coming in at number 5. And he's the kind of batter who doesn't need a lot of time to get going. Dangerous matchup here.
So he goes first ball. A diving low catch. It looks like Rishi Pandey. And so Hassan Khan doesn't last long. Taylor on a hat trick.
That is about the softest dismissal that I've ever seen from Hassan Khan. Working it into the leg side as though there's no one there at short mid-wicket. This is a ball that he literally just clips off of his hips. Any day in the week, you would think that shot would not be played with that man right at short mid-wicket. Just catching practice to him. Boy.
So Stephen Taylor is on a hat trick, Brian. How many times we've seen these attempted hat tricks?
Amazing stuff.
And we have already 2 hat tricks in the series. One of which was off the bowling of 𝗂𝗏𝗄𝗃𝗏. He's out in the field. He bowled already. I'm pretty sure he'll bowl again. And so new man comes to the middle. Stephen Taylor on a hat trick. Couple of wickets for him. Hassan Khan goes without scoring. Milind Kumar the previous ball.
Why is Zia the man to try to avoid the hat trick?
And he falls in front of the fielder. It's all happening here. Stephen Taylor with a couple of strikes to start the 14th over, Brian. And all of a sudden, at one stage it was 91 for 2. Now it's 102 for 4.
Well, look at that big opening partnership, 65 runs, but they've essentially lost the plot since that. Look at that piece of fielding by Stephen Taylor. I believe that was a bump ball, so that would not have been a catch. But what an excellent piece of fielding to keep that pressure going.
Yeah, such a good over here from Stephen Taylor. And the fact is, Brian, he's picked up 2 wickets. And he's yet to concede anything in this over. 3-dot ball. So this one, if this one goes for a dot, it will be a double wicket made from Stephen Taylor. Here we go to Awais Zia. And Zia cuts and cuts well, finds the gap. Will get a couple of runs as Shadley runs back. And so that will close out a very big over here for Stephen Taylor and the Atlanta Fire. 14 gone, it's 104 for 4. And it's interesting, Brian, talking about the two hat tricks that we have seen. When you listen to the names, we saw one from Usman Khan against the Thunderbolt. And as fate would have it, 𝗂𝗏𝗄𝗃𝗏 picked up a hat trick against the Seattle Thunderbolts. And here is what is even more interesting. Ayan Desai, Mayura Lashmikant were victims of 2 hat tricks in this series. They say lightning doesn't strike twice. It did. Simhadri continues. Oh, flicked away. That's a lovely shot from Saad Ali. And so many good shots we've seen, Brian. Sometimes some shots deserve more than what they get.
I'll tell you what, though. That's a lovely shot, but he almost clipped it straight into the hands of short fine leg. So he's lucky, Saad Ali, to still be there. And we talked about the fact that that big partnership, opening partnership, was worth 65, but since then, the partnerships have been 26, 11, and 0. So the batting has fallen apart after that false start. Or that slow start, I mean. Or that fast start is what I'm trying to say. I don't know why 𝗃𝗃𝗃 is laughing. He was almost asleep a few minutes ago.
Yeah, we've seen a wicket from Sunny Patel, and we've seen one from Zishan Maksud, and not too long ago we saw a double from Stephen Taylor. Shot into the onside and over the head of Jamar Hamilton, gone for 6 from Saad Ali.
A lot depends on the captain from here. It is going to be important for him to try to regain some of that momentum going toward the back end of the innings. This is lofted into the hospitality tent. Let's hope somebody is able to keep the powers that be and the important people in that facility from being hit with a cricket ball.
So steered away for a couple of runs. And so 2 more runs to Saad Ali. And it was over the head of Jamar Hamilton, folks. Jamar Hamilton and Milanta sharing the glove work this year for the Atlanta Fire. Both capable. Saad Ali. Oh, that's a glorious drive into the offside. Fielder will run around. Shadley has a long way to run. He puts in the dive, but the ball wins. That's 4 more runs.
𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 being made to do a lot of work here. This is a solid shot. Great strike by the captain through the offside, through extra cover. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 had about maybe 20 or so yards to his right to make up. Not quite able to get there.
Yeah, glorious cover drive from Saad Ali. We talked about. He hasn't given big numbers this year, but you never know when these turnaround happens. And into the offside, that will complete 15. So 15 gone. And Simhadri brings this one to a close. 123 for 4.
Brian Walters has given way to allow me for those last 5 overs, and quite an exciting prospect to be on mic for those last 5 overs. 123 for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 after 15 overs. Lenia Chabar is still settled alongside me. Big shout. Sunny Patel celebrates, and the umpire says no. And Sunny Patel is asking Saad Ali, you should be walking. I don't think gone are the days then the batters, when they used to walk. This will give us a good idea. It certainly didn't hit the arm. It flicked the back thigh. I'll have to, if we are able to see the front-on replay to see what the umpire was pointing, because he did signal something back to Sunny Patel, who was really disappointed with that. For now, Sunny Patel wheels away again. Timing seems to have deserted the batters with that new ball. Oh, almost a collision. 2 runs, slight bit of misunderstanding between the 2 fielders. Look at this replay now. The side-on angle suggested it clipped the back thigh. Look at the umpire. Well, even from that angle we couldn't see. Sunny Patel goes through Saad Ali again. 21 of 13. Skipper Saad Ali is looking to hold the innings together, Lenny.
Yeah, it comes at a time in which we're beginning to see a good, solid knock here from Saad Ali. But Sunny Patel, such a quality leg spinner, has posed some problems.
He's not happy with this wide given. It was a beautifully flighted delivery. Obviously, we are not seeing the straight angle, so we can't tell you how wide it was. But in terms of the deception, that ball was beautifully tossed up away from the hitting arc of Saad. And Sunny was livid when it was given as wide. Wide of the crease. No timing once again from Saad Ali.
Yeah, we've seen a big appeal in this over Sh Faisal from Sunny Patel, and get the feeling that I did see the square leg umpire trying to make a signal. And when you do umpiring, Sh Faisal, your colleague, you've got to watch in his direction. Sometimes he may see something that you did not see. And if we can get that square on, let's see what the square leg was trying to indicate, what had happened. Yeah, whatever that means. But apparently that the ruling umpire didn't look in this direction. Well, the 16th over comes to a close. It's 130 for 4.
Well, I don't know. Maybe things have changed since we used to play, but back in the day, that would suggest that it got something with that arm gesture, would suggest something from the bat.
Could also mean I'm not too sure, but there's so many ways.
That will be a different one with the open palm. I'm not so sure. But that little flick of the wrist with the palm closed. Anyway, we'll never know. Or maybe we will when we ask the umpire informally after the game. 4 overs to go. Kingsmen have really been pegged back. Sunny Patel, 1 for 19. The skipper has really produced a magical spell. He's still adamant about it. Towards the right of our comm box, Sunny Patel taking the applause from the dugout.
So 𝗏𝗏 van Squawkwick comes back into the attack, 128 for 4. And will come into bowl to 𝗿𝗄𝗎𝐶. Into the offside. Look at that.
He'd given up. Direct hit would have had a 𝗏𝗄𝗎𝐶. 𝗏𝗄𝗎 obviously hails from Rawalpindi. He's played for Pakistan in the T20 format. Few handful of appearances. He's a good player of pace. Generally opens, but with this batting lineup, he's coming down the order. Won't mind the pace of 𝗏𝗏 if 𝗏𝗏 bowls quick, because 𝗏𝗏 is inclined to just change the pace.
Flowing shot through the offside, and it goes away. Talking about the talent of 𝗿𝗄𝗎𝐶, there's evidence.
Yeah, he's very strong in that direction. Pace on outside the off stump, anything between backward point and extra cover. That's his area of strength. And he's really found the sweet spot of the bat there. 𝗏𝗏 guilty of giving him the width. Change of pace into the wicket maybe. Could be the order of the day. For 𝗿𝗄𝗎𝐶, cramping him for space.
So ball driven back to the bowler, Sh Faisal. 𝗿𝗄𝗎𝐶. And Saad Ali is beginning to stitch something very important here. These low order partnerships, they're so vital.
It's a knockout game, so runs on the board. The Kingsmen were able to defend 128 yesterday, but that was majority of youngsters. This Atlanta Fire is more prolific with the bat. 2 straight, worked away very nicely. Just be a single. Vanessa Mathari gets to the ball. You're talking about the remaining 3.2 overs. 137 on the board. 20 deliveries. 30 runs from here, 167. Kingsmen will be very happy with that.
And 𝗂𝗶𝗄, you talked about earlier morning about the toss, how the wicket has really gotten better. We can see it from the scores we're getting. Can't wait another 20 hours more when the final happens as to the conditions out in the middle.
Couldn't get out of the way. Saad Ali is looking to help it on its way above the head of that fielder at 45. That ball just cramped him for space, and his movements weren't swift enough to move in into the line of the ball. Shadley mixing his pace well. Slower into the pitch, then quicker into the pitch. Slower length balls, wider deliveries. That's a hard catch it. I can't catch that. Just above my head. It came hard and flat. And Saad Ali breaks the shackles. 17 gone, 147, 142 for 4.
Yeah, another big shot. Look at this one, picked it up well, Saad Ali. And straight into the media tent on top of the roof. And 17 gone, it's 142 for 4.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and 𝗃𝗺𝗃, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket and T Sports.
Three overs to go. Atlanta Open 2025, second semi-final. Kingsmen versus the home side, Atlanta Fire. We're in for a tense battle. Last over went for 13 from Shadley. 𝗵𝗺 𝗵𝗃 now the new bowler. 𝗵𝗺 has been there in the middle, 20 of 11. He's really giving some momentum to this innings. Shot. Bouncing away. And like I just mentioned a while ago, area of strength for 𝗿𝗺, square of the wicket. And guilty of giving him too much room. Just stepped away with the front leg and carved it over the top.
Lovely shot. Can't bowl at this level like that, 𝗂𝗄𝗃. And all the ease in the world over the offside.
Couldn't pierce the gap. Azim Charania got in the way. But it's very difficult to contain 𝗿𝗺 if you bowl him that line, because he's quite strong there. Probably 𝗵𝗺 𝗵𝗃 hasn't seen him play a lot.
Yeah, we talked about 2 hat-trick in the series. Usman Khan with 1. And also 𝗂𝗵𝗺 𝗵𝗃. And the funny thing, I just told Brian Walters, 𝗂𝗶𝗄, they came off the same team. A couple of the players involved were the same.
Squeezed it away. Diving save just in front of us. Zishan Maqsood stops the ball. Umpire might want to have a look, but I think plenty of eyewitnesses from our tent that Zishan did a good job.
Yeah, that's a very good save, running to his right. And we come down to
You're going to say come down to 16 balls left?
yeah, we come down to the latter stages here as into the onside goes Saad Ali.
Couldn't get under it, Saad Ali, but Getting closer to that 150 mark. 𝗂𝗺𝗃𝗍 into his second over. There's plenty of bowling options still available for skipper Sunny Patel. For the last 2 overs, where does he want to go? Shadley's got 1 over left. Zishan Maqsood has got 2. Fani Samadri has just bowled 2. Normally he's a banker towards the back end of the innings. Azim has got plenty. Once again carves it away. But this time straight to the fielder. That is the area of strength, and 𝗂𝗏𝗄 has profited quite a lot.
Yeah, this server's gone for 9 from Rabi. Saad Ali and 𝗂𝗍𝗄 has put on 44. Shah Faisal, this is second best partnership we've seen. We saw a big one from Sharjeel Khan and Ramiz, of course, at the top.
Field is well set for this kind of line of attack from 𝗂𝗺𝗃𝗍. He's executed his plans quite nicely after getting hit for that boundary. 18 gone, and it's a 147 for 4. Two overs to go. Where does this inning go from here with 12 deliveries to go? Atlanta Fire has limited the damage quite significantly after that blistering start from Sharjeel and Ramiz Raja.
Yeah, they've gone to Shadley with 1.
The stray ball entered the field of play from that field behind us. Red ball, in fact.
Yeah, that might have been a massive 6 from the other ground. That's the only way that can come till here.
Starts off with a wide. Saad Ali charging down at him. 31 of 22. Saad Ali, who for the most part of his career has been known as a technician of a batter, well suited for the longer format. He's really transformed his game in the last couple of years. Had a very good minor league. Smashes it into the offside. A tumbling save. And saves a couple of runs, 𝗂𝗺𝗃𝗍𝗍. That now brings up 150 for the Kingsmen with 11 to go.
Yeah, we saw they got to 100 in the 12th over. And now here they are, 151 on the board, Shah Faisal. And it comes in the 19th here at the 𝗵𝗺𝗏𝗄𝗏.
Went straight over the head of Shadley. Once again, good ground coverage by the sweeper. It's Sunny Patel, in fact, the skipper, fielding in the hot spots. A couple more runs to the total. 170 looks pretty much on the card, Lenny.
Yeah, Shah Faisal, we're beginning to see some better scores on these pitches here. Saw 189 posted earlier on.
Again, a cutter in the gap. Sunny Patel gives the chase and brings out the dive, and only a single this time. He's been a live wire in the field. The skipper, he was brilliant with the ball, and he is leading from the front.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, you've always got to put some of your fastest mover at the long off, long on area, Shah Faisal, and we've seen in T20 cricket at every level that those become a high trafficking area. And this over's gone pretty well for 𝗏𝗫𝗏. He's only given up 6. We've seen a wide. We've seen 5 runs off the bat. We could have a ball change.
I don't know what happened. I could see the seam coming out of this other ball. It hasn't been smashed around. I don't know. It might have. The last boundary that came was towards us. Might have hit a piece of metal and something's come loose after a few deliveries with that ball. Umpires. We've got a good team of umpires here. Umpire Sandeep carrying the box of balls. And umpire James picks up the appropriate ball. Atlanta Fire Hospitality tent, always very well populated. Plenty of fans show up. It's a very good atmosphere around the ground. The home team, though, would like to close out the innings. 9 very, very important deliveries to come. It can go either way from here. Play and a miss, and in the background you just saw Shanta carrying a box of cookies for everyone. See if one of our cameramen can they capture her. She's just walking right in front of our comm box. Great hospitality from the Atlanta Fire Management, obviously the home team and the organizers of this tournament. This is brilliant from 𝗏𝗫𝗏. Angling in now to 𝗂𝗏 at a fuller length, not allowing him to free his arms.
Yeah, we've seen 7 of this over from 𝗏𝗫𝗏. So this one, yeah, there we go. That's Clive Lloyd. So Clive Lloyd in the middle.
And that's the girl who's giving out candies to everyone, including us. Thank you very much. Now she's out with some drinks. I don't think we need any.
Yeah, white ball is the call. And Shaw Faisal, you look at the extras column. The Atlanta Fire has done well. Only 5, and considering we have seen 2 in this over.
Yeah, now he's gone over the wicket to Saad Ali. These are 2 left-handers, but 2 different left-handers to contend with. Has the Atlanta Fire logo. Beautifully set up this facility for this tournament. Take that. Saad Ali, the skipper, has really put on a show here, taking out 𝗏𝗫𝗏 for the final delivery of the over.
Yeah, it was a very good over up until this. Look at that, over the offside. We've seen a lot of offside 6s, but this one has to be ranked very high. Off the middle of the bat from Saad Ali. And so 19 gone. It's 161, in fact 159 for 4.
𝗂𝗫𝗏𝗏 starts off with a wide. Final delivery, 160 has been achieved. Depending if they can get a boundary early doors in this over, Kingsmen, they might just elevate that total of 170 that they would have thought about after a while. And I don't know where this could end up, but 𝗂𝗫𝗏𝗏 has a job on his hand.
Yeah, we've seen 𝗂𝗫𝗏 gone for 10-10. 10 meaning 10 in his first over, 10 in his second. This is his third. He's been given the last over.
Oh, he's lost it completely. Umpire had stretched his one arm out, which means it has missed the cut strip. And that will be a no ball if that is the case. Umpire wants, that is a wide now. I don't know, he may ask for the help of the technology. Did it pitch beyond? Yeah, that cut strip rule wouldn't apply because it pitched behind the stumps. So just the wide ball. 𝗂𝗻𝗄𝗃𝗏 got lucky here. Well stopped Lahiro Milanta. A bad bounce in front of him. Look at him smiling. And I don't know if you've ever kept wickets, but this is a horrible take for a wicketkeeper. He's done well there.
In fact, 𝗂𝗵𝗂𝗃 not well with this ball also, but even the other ball that we were kind of questioning whether it went for no ball or went for wide, yes. And how many times? The most dreaded thing for wicketkeepers is when the ball passes under your glove. That's the problem. And that one skidded low. And the experience of Milanta, he was able to keep that to a dot.
Couldn't get under it to get more than a single. 164 now into the final over. I'm just starting to think at this kind of score which team will be more happy going into the break. Preventing a boundary in the final over will count as a success for the bowler.
Yeah, we've got 3 left in the innings. And the fact is, 𝗂𝗵𝗂𝗃, they're going 8.4. So we get the feeling that Atlanta will be chasing something in the vicinity of 8.5 and 9. Let's see.
Another wide. Well, all tournament. We've had great timekeeping, but this innings has gone on. How many wides in this innings? The extras that have really propelled that score. Just 8 and 2 of them in this over alone. Good save. Shadley has been a live wire. Him and Sunny Patel have occupied those hot spots. His agility and his athleticism, absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, we saw the last over from Shadley went for 14. This one has gone for 7, 𝗂𝗵𝗂𝗃. And the fact is, we've seen 3 wide, so it's a lot better over without the extra from 𝗂𝗻𝗄𝗃. But can he finish strong?
What he would like is not to go for boundary here. Saad couldn't get under. Just lost his shape. Looking to come back for the second. Will do so to get Kingsmen to 169. There's a little bit of a discrepancy in the score. 1 delivery to go. 170 with 1 ball to go. Saad Ali doesn't scoop or ramp the ball because third man final legger up in the ring. I don't think he's going to attempt one of those. He attempted a squeeze past that fielder at short third. Couldn't do so. The innings has come to a close. Despite the wide, still a very good over from 𝗂𝗻𝗄𝗃𝗏 to close out the innings. And Atlanta Fire will be requiring 170 to win this semi-final and advance to the final. Runs on the board for Kingsmen in a pressure situation in a knockout game. And that sets up the evening for a fantastic run chase. An innings that started with very good opening partnership for the Kingsmen, Sharjeel and Ramiz. They really provided a good start. We'll get to see the batting card. You'll know that that first wicket partnership was very crucial and it set the foundation. Remember, Kingsmen did win the toss and the target for Atlanta Fire will be 170. When we come back, it's time for the innings break and we'll be back with the run chase.
Atlanta Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and 𝗃𝗃𝗃 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket and T Sports.
Atlanta Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and 𝗃𝗃𝗃 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket and T Sports.
star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and 𝗃𝗃𝗃, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket and T Sports.
Atlanta Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and 𝗃𝗃𝗃, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket and T Sports.
Atlanta Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and 𝗃𝗃-𝗃𝗃𝗃, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket and T Sports.
Atlanta Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and 𝗃𝗃-𝗃𝗃, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket and T Sports.
Atlanta Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
20 overs is all that remains for us to decide who is going to be the second entrant into the 2025 Atlanta Open Finals right here at the 𝗵𝗃𝗃 Sports Complex tomorrow afternoon. In fact, tomorrow at noon Central. Where are we? Eastern time.
You travel too much, Brian.
𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. Sometimes I have to stop and think about where I am. And I think it's fair to say that the first innings went in a couple of different phases. Really fast start by the Kingsmen. Dominant in the middle overs by the Atlanta Fire bowlers. And then a big partnership towards the back end by shorturl and 𝗬𝗎𝗂𝗃, the two lefties. Dragged them toward a total resembling respectability. So now that man in the center of your screen, that is going to be Mohamed Ilyas, will be bowling to Lahiri Milanta, taking guard there with interesting Ramiz Raja behind the stumps. We saw him getting some treatment earlier. Hope he's going to be fine. But a really interesting 20 overs coming up here, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
Absolutely. And you summed up the first innings quite nicely. Big opening partnership. Then Atlanta Fire came roaring back with some terrific bowling and fielding led by skipper Sunny Patel. But then that partnership, although last couple of overs Atlanta Fire didn't allow them to get away from them, but 170 on the board in a knockout game with a formidable bowling lineup as they have, the Kingsmen, they would really be buoyed. But it's a glorious game of cricket, and we know that Atlanta Fire has quality batters within their lineup as well. This should be exciting.
Oh my goodness, yes. Mohamed Ilyas. Immediately off the mark, Zia-ul-Haq, who typically takes the new ball, is on the boundary, fielding in glasses. He's been doing that this week, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
Yeah, I actually asked him if it was just the style that he's acquiring, or he's the vision glasses, and he did say these are the vision glasses. So he's been to an optician. Such a young age. I was surprised, but we've seen cricketers, and well, talk about cricketers.
That's exactly where I was going.
Right on cue.
You stole my thunder, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
You still go ahead.
Speaking of left-handed cricketers who wear glasses, the great Sir Clive Lloyd is over in the hospitality tent. He will be the chief guest at tomorrow's final. And I believe we may see or we might be lucky enough to have lightning strike in a bottle twice and have him here in commentary with us sometime before the day is out. But in the meantime, such a pleasure to have him here with us in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was just an amazing moment when he came down to the commentary box and got the opportunity to talk to him. By the way, I was talking about a player with spectacles from Pakistan. That's Zaheer Abbas. Not to steal your limelight.
Whoa, look at that. Oh, my goodness. That is the end of Rishi Pandey. We did not even get the chance to announce his name. The first wicket is down, 1 for 1.
Yeah, that was threw him in a flash. Looks like he was late. We'll have a chance to see that. Ilyas is quite skiddy with the brand new ball. You could see that bat came down pretty late and the ball had gone. Also coming down at an angle, cutting across through the line of the ball. And Ilyas too good.
Well, confirmation there. There's not supposed to be one stump that's leaning back further than the other two. Generally, that means that you were clean bowled. And so Rishi Pandey will be disappointed with that effort. But in the meantime, work is still needing to be done. The new batter striding to the crease. Find out who that is shortly. But Lahiri Milanta has words of wisdom for him. My goodness, it is going to be
𝗬𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
𝗬𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, that's exactly who that is. 𝗬𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
Motion in the batting order.
Interesting, or I should say I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on that promotion to the batting order for 𝗬𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
Yeah, I'm trying to see that why they would have done it. Taylor generally opens the batting. He's holding back. Obviously, he has that hand injury. So he's been kept back. Was it left hand, right hand combination? Try to keep that going.
On the leg side, these are free runs, 5 of them.
A horribly difficult take for the wicketkeeper, Ramiz Raja. It was low, it was bouncing in front of him, and that dive couldn't prevent. Ilyas will be disappointed with that delivery to the new batter.
You mentioned Stephen Taylor. If I had to guess, I would guess that Stephen Taylor would come in at 6 or lower, because his power stroke is with his left hand. He's left-handed, but that's the wrist with it inside which he has an injury. It might be a small hairline fracture, and so it's very painful for him to play shots. Is that an edge? Did that come off the edge? Not taken cleanly by Ramiz Raja. No indication from the umpire other than to say 2 balls remaining. So I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on that last delivery.
I would go by the reactions. If it was a drop catch, the bowler will be tearing down his hair in disgust.
Mohamed Ilyas in particular.
Yeah, he's an animated cricketer.
Very, very demonstrative. Very demonstrative.
So, yeah, going by that, probably it wasn't an edge. Still, nicely timed. Usman Khadir will come around.
So successful over already for the Kingsmen. They have a really strong bowling attack. Talked about Ziaul-Haq earlier. When you talk about more pace, you have Anwar Ali Khan, who did not bowl yesterday from memory. And you also have the left arm spin of Hassan Khan. Even Saad Ali can turn his own arm over if needed. And the pace, albeit a little bit erratic at times, of Akhtar Shah, but when he gets it right, he can be a handful. And there's one big name. Shah Faisal is gesturing wildly to me off camera that I did not say the great Usman Khadir.
Yeah, so that's all-round strength. You see the variation in their bowling lineup. That is why it will be very difficult for Atlanta Fire. 2 overs done. It's 11 for 1. Gone a bit cloudy here in Rydell. No imminent chance of rain. Funny enough, a week out from this tournament, the forecast didn't look quite good, but we gotten away with fantastic weather. The Atlanta Fire merchandise tent and the cricketers who play the game with the red ball. I think they're having a mid-innings break, is it? Or time to go home? I see a couple of the players dragging their bags up the hill to the car park. That's the second car park in this facility, right across from where we are. You see those cars in the background? People with the duffel bags and kit bags ready to wind up. It must have been a quick game. This is through. Not quite, actually. Well stopped by Anwar Ali, and we went through all host of bowling options, and we didn't get the guy who's got the ball in his hand, Milind Kumar.
Milind Kumar, tremendous all-rounder. More so known for his exploits with the bat than with the ball, but he's a tremendous bowler.
Another wide. More exercise for umpire Ravi. Lahiro Milanta having a look in. That is the other spinning option that Brian was talking about just a while ago, Hassan Khan. That one came in and kept low. This has been a quiet beginning for Lahiro Milanta. Milind Kumar can turn the ball away also from the left-hander, but he's content in bringing the ball in with the arm. Milantha prepared to have a look in. Oh, that was lucky. He's looking to play it onto the offside. It's been a very tidy start with the ball from the Kingsmen. You would have thought that finishing top of the group would be an advantage and having a day off. But, oh, that's Alvy, one of the founding members of Atlanta Fire Cricket Club back in 2018. Talk about having a rest day instead. Kingsmen, when Atlanta Fire were resting, got through another hard battle yesterday, same time. Defending 128, their skill and character was tested, and they are better for that experience as they got more runs on the board today. Third over has come to an end. See 𝗂𝗺𝗃𝗃 getting patched up. Lania Chabar looking to sort out matters. A familiar smile of Brian Walters. How about the atmosphere in the ground, Brian Walters? People have come in and they filled those hospitality tents. That's one side of the ground, and obviously Stallions, having won the game, are staying to support their second team, Kingsmen. 𝗂𝗺𝗃𝗃 is walking off. No matter how many bowling options skipper Saad Ali has, but still, to lose your one of the most experienced lieutenants, because 𝗂𝗺𝗃𝗃 is a leader on the field as well. And him being dismissed. Talk about injuries. Stephen Taylor getting patched up. These guys have played so much cricket recently.
Indeed, and you see, we talked about the left wrist of Stephen Taylor. The fact that he's being taped up now with a wicket having fallen might suggest that he might be trying to come in earlier than the 6th that I was suggesting earlier, Shah Faisal.
They would have hoped that they get away to a start and probably they won't need him. But one had a feeling with this kind of tight contest, all resources will be required for Atlanta Fire if they want to get over the line. Ilyas, erratic. Quick but erratic. Gives away another wide.
Yeah, I just need to get that line right. Spraying it down the leg side. Done that a couple of times. And yes, when you're defending a target that is sort of a middling target, it was not the 200 that we thought it would be earlier on, but it's also not the 128 that they scored yesterday, the Kingsmen. But you want your bowlers to get the ball in the right areas and make sure that the batter plays your good balls. Lahir Milantha just taking a little bit of time to get going here. So, first couple of overs, Shah Faisal, to me, you could probably argue that they've gone about even. You like the relatively, in fact, no, I'll retract that. It feels like it's gone the way of the Kingsmen because of the early wicket and restrictive bowling despite a couple of wides down the leg side.
Oh, he's bowling round his legs.
Oh, you don't see that happen very often. Look at that smile on Lahir Milantha's face. It's a wry smile, but you know that that does not indicate joy. It indicates absolute shock at the fact that he was bowled behind his back. Shah Faisal, you don't see this happen very often. Walking across too far. The line from the left make that the right-hander bowling over the wicket to the left-hander. Essentially, it means if you go all the way across, you can leave the leg stump open, particularly if, for example, you were batting on a middle stump guard. It'll be interesting to see what guard he took, but that is something that is really shocking. A big wicket there, second wicket down, 18 for 2.
Yeah, that death rattle that you hear, generally you don't expect it when you miss the ball down the leg side. You miss a straight one in front of you through the off stump, you can expect to hear that. But as soon as he heard that rattle, look at the look of surprise In fact, shock from 𝗲𝗂𝗻𝗄𝗧. Generally, a leg time delivery would mean runs for the batter, but 𝗻𝗄𝗧, that semi-final, didn't quite go to plan for him with the bat. And this innings so far hasn't gone to plan with the bat for Atlanta Fire.
No, it has not. And I will tell you,
To apologize also for the missing score bar from the bottom. I think there is some discrepancy that is being worked upon, and we hope it will be back pretty soon. But we know that 2 wickets are down.
quick single. And I think an aggressive start in the field, particularly with the ball from Mohamed Ilyas. This is brilliant stuff for the Kingsmen. Their bowlers are good. You don't like the fact that Anwar Ali Khan walked off the field just now, but still plenty of bowling. Mohamed Ilyas is a handful.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly interested in the reaction of 𝗲𝗂𝗻𝗄𝗧.
Yes.
One thing over the years with Ilyas is that he's a rhythm bowler, he's a confidence bowler. If you try to take him on and put some early pressure on him, he has shown signs where he buckles and you can take him apart. But if you allow him to bowl in his zone, then he's quick, he gets his mojo, and I think he relishes the opportunities when the batters are not going after him. So far, nothing big has been attempted of his bowling. Not straight enough. Going down.
Well, a couple of balls left, indicated there by umpire Denzel James. Mohamed Ilyas, you said he's a rhythm bowler. When he gets his tail up, he's a handful. He's as quick as any bowler on display in this tournament. And just wanting to make some time to make sure, or take some time to make sure that you harness that aggression into accuracy here.
No timing whatsoever. Ilyas, when he was playing first-class cricket in Pakistan, he made it to the A team, national A team. He was clocked up above 140 in PSL. So you're absolutely right when you say that he has the ability to bowl quick. This dugout, apart from Halim Bhai, who's having a munch,
Sure.
everyone looks pretty pensive. Shadley in the back and coach Monty Desai.
Oh, in the air. But it's going to be just wide of Saad Ali running back from mid-on. Couple more runs. And Mohamed Ilyas in particular, to me, just is a bowler that you want to harness and you want to make sure that he gets all his energy toward the target of getting his team a victory. Really starting out well here. That is the end, I believe, of over number 4. We'll be back shortly. 5.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and 𝗃𝗃𝗃 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket and T Sports.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are working our way through some technical difficulties, but in the meantime, it is going to be the right arm orthodox of Milind Kumar. And Lenny, we have a few moving parts. That's just, oh, in fact, we are 5 overs in. Let's say as of right now, the score is 32 for 1. We will go with that for now as that is pounded away into the deep.
Good save by Akhtar Shah. Milind Kumar continues.
lot of time to go here. And in the meantime, this inning started out with a need of 8.75 and over. Required rate was off the back foot. This is going to be over the head of Saad Ali. He's going to run away over to long on for 4.
Well, Atlanta Fire fans have something to cheer about. This run chase so far hasn't gathered the momentum they would have expected, but this is a good shot. Slightly shorter, not a rang long hop by any means, but mid-on is up. He chose a good area to go over the head of that fielder at mid-on. Good comeback from Milind Kumar. Yorker length. And 𝗂𝗚-𝗃𝗃 in the distance has taken off his glasses and his cap. Pace from this end so far. Ilyas had bowled a couple of overs with 2 wickets, and now he's been replaced by 𝗂𝗚-𝗃.
So 𝗂𝗚-𝗃, his last 2 deliveries yesterday were wickets 9 and 10, clean bowled on both. So 𝗂𝗚-𝗃 is right now on a hat trick.
To add to whatever is going on, that equation.
As if we needed anything else to keep track of. That is a brilliant, brilliant start. 𝗂𝗚-𝗃 now going to be on a hat trick around the wicket, targeting, I would think, the base of leg stump. This is the hat trick ball. Oh, wrapping one on the pad. Gone! It is a hat trick for 𝗂𝗚-𝗃. In the context of this game, it means wicket number 2 is down. 32, we believe, for the loss of 2 wickets.
Well, that's 𝗂𝗚-𝗃. I think they knew the way he celebrated with Ramiz. And what a start. What a first delivery. Punched away. Getting his front leg out of the way and hitting on the back leg. He knew that look of resignation on his face. And he had given up before that finger had started to go up. Hat-trick for 𝗂𝗚-𝗃. Drama here at Paramveer. The home team and their fans a bit quiet. 3 wickets down now in the run chase.
Well, from around the wicket, spearing it in to the pads. I suggested he should be aiming at the base of leg stump. Essentially, that's what he was doing. It hit a batter, 𝗚𝗏 Dave, on the back pad, and I think from, even though we're not directly in line with the stumps, it appeared to be crashing to me into middle and leg. And so that's a big wicket for 𝗂𝗚-𝗃. A personal milestone. He gets a hat trick. That's never a bad thing. In the context of this game, it means that you've pegged back the Atlanta Fire even more. Next ball. Looking to work this down the leg side. Should be at least a couple of runs. That is the youngster Aryan Satish, I believe, who's after it. So 2 runs off the mark immediately is the new batter. I believe that is
Sunny Patel, but it's leg by.
Oh,
Umpire have just signaled that. And Sunny Patel coming in. Jamar Hamilton still in the shed. So is Zishan Maqsood. Stephen Taylor, obviously we know, is nursing the injury. So not an ideal situation here for the home team. But Sunny Patel is a street fighter. He will fight tooth and nail. That's what you can expect from him.
Well, his team is going to need for him to fight here because they're in a bit of trouble. 𝗂𝗚-𝗃 with his tail up has the first wicket. And then you've seen, even though a couple of leg byes have happened subsequent to that wicket, that not a lot off of the bat at this stage in the innings for the Atlanta Fire. Flash and a miss. There's that delivery again that you talk about, keeping low as it goes through to Ramiz Raja.
Yeah, this is the 4th innings of the day. Probably the middle 2 innings were the best time to bat on this pitch. And capitalized well Kingsmen, even towards the latter part of the Kingsmen inning. Last couple of overs, Saad Ali and Awais Zia with the older ball couldn't find their right timing. And now in the power play, struggling Atlanta Fire. 𝗂𝗚-𝗃 just need to keep doing that. ask the batters to make the move.
Certainly that would be what is required. And given that you have the squeeze on and you're trying to see who gets into the final here, you know the pressure is on the home side. Just keep making them play your good balls. That is exactly what you'd need at this stage. Great ball. That fizzing past the outside edge.
𝗂𝗃𝗃 all smiles with Sunny Patel. These two teams played a big final not so long ago. And now Atlanta Fire on home turf. They're up against it. I just have a feeling innings at this stage needs a few boundaries to get the momentum going. If they get on a roll, I think they can catch up with the required run rate. But it just doesn't look likely to happen. Ball is completely dominating the bat.
That's exactly the point. And when you get the pressure building in the way that it is right now, it becomes that much more difficult for the home side. End of over, we believe, number 7. Score is.
One heart. One heart. 1 5 8 4 6 𝗃𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 1 heart. 1 5 we apply the pressure 1 heart. 1 5 we apply the pressure 1 heart. 1 5 1 heart. 1 heart.
It's amazing what happened with this hat-trick, Brian. Would you believe it? So Milind Kumar continues. And we've got a unique situation here. Let's talk about the score. It's 23 for 3 at the end of 5. Milind Kumar comes into the attack. The batters out in the middle, Sunny Patel and Ehad Malik. And so this one turned away into the onside. And Brian, we're down to 24 for 3 in the 6th over.
24 for 3 in over number 6. To me, makes it a very difficult game to recover from. Saw the hat-trick from 𝗂𝗃𝗃. That's always something that's going to be paid attention to. And in the meantime, you have a lot of time, but you're falling behind in terms of the run rate. Skied, where's this one going to go? Akhtar Shah is after it. Almost an acrobatic catch, but I believe that might have just gone over the ropes with the decision from the umpire. Umpire Balasubramanian is going to be checking for that. I believe it may have just bounced in front, Lenny. I don't know if you can see it from there, but they will be looking at it here, so we'll go quiet and see what they think. This is
Yeah, well, second one and I'm waiting. So that will be the third one. So I think we've got a decision here, Brian Walters. And 4 is the signal from the umpire, so the score will go up to 28-3. We are in the 6th over.
20-3 indeed, signaled 4. So 𝗵𝗺𝗀𝗃 with a wry smile on his face. 3 balls remaining. Lenny, the scoring rate 4.67. Wrapped on the pad. They'll steal a leg by here, I believe. Watch umpire 𝗵𝗁𝗂𝗂𝗪𝗏𝗍𝗂𝗍𝗂𝗍𝗂𝗍𝗂 here. There's your signal. So 2 balls remaining here in over number 6, Len. The power play almost done. I think it's fair to say that the power play has gone certainly the way of the Kingsmen as opposed to the Atlanta Fire. Wanted a single. Sunny Patel sent back. Luckily so.
Yeah, they were batting what? Around 60 around this mark when the Kingsmen batted Brian Walters. So things have really gone well.
I'm trying to find the number of different names you're going to call me today, Lenny. Played to mid-on, and that's going to be a missed field, and it's going to cost an additional run. Usman Kadir is the man who cannot pick up there. A couple of more runs, 8 coming from the over. End of over number 6. The score is 31-3.
You know, it's funny. You know the 3 hat trick? Here's an amazing thing with the 3 hat trick, right? All 3 against the same team. Well, it started, 1 finish here. 1 started, spread across teams, spread across days, spread across whatever. Mayura, Lakshmikant, he is involved in all 3.
So that's the end of the power play. I think it's easy. Fair to say that the power play has gone the way of the Kingsmen. When the Kingsmen batted, the end of their power play, there were 59 runs on the board. And you have only 31 on the board here. The Atlanta Fire, so they've fallen behind. And then another 3. In fact, 3 wickets are down. When the Kingsmen batted, they had no wickets lost during the power play. So easy to say that things essentially have gone the way of the Atlanta Fire. Make that the way of the Kingsmen. And it's 𝗂 who will be taking up the attack from the southern end of the ground outside of the power play now. So a sweeper. In fact, it's a man at deep square leg. And then there is a sweeper on the offside, the large side of the ground. Long on. Mid-off is inside the circle. Ahad Malik, 18 from 20. And Sunny Patel will be looking to accelerate himself. His team needs him to accelerate here, Lenny. 10.25 or 10.29 needed per over the rest of the way. In the air and just over mid-off, that's 𝗵𝗺𝗀𝗀𝗪 running back. A tumbling attempt. Did he pull that back? Umpires will probably want to take a look at this, but it's a great piece of fielding nonetheless. It will be either 2 or 4, depending on what the TV umpire Nuruddin thinks. So confirmation there, that is 4. Brilliant effort by 𝗵𝗺𝗀𝗪, but ultimately in vain. And so good start to the over. Plenty more of those. 35 for 3 after that boundary to start over number 7, Lenny. In that same direction, a lot straighter this time, and there's no need to go to the third umpire on this one. 4 straight down the ground.
Yeah, 40 for 3 now, Brian Walters. Seen a couple of 4s off the bowling of 𝗬𝗧𝗃. Look at that, straight down the ground, elbows up, full flow of the bat, hitting through the line. And a couple of 4s there for Ayad Malik.
Comeback delivery there from 𝗬𝗧𝗃, just a little bit shorter in length, not allowing Ayad Malik to get under the attempted drive. Ayad Malik has some time to play his shot. Looks to be relatively composed and organized. And at the other end, Sunny Patel, you know, will be looking for something more aggressive than what his team is doing right now.
Yeah, we've seen an over gone for 9, couple of 4s. 𝗬𝗧𝗃, quality bowler, picked up a hat-trick when he bowled his first ball today. Got a wicket of Ansh Dev out earlier on, and that hat-trick was spread across 2 matches. It was probably a 24-hour period because that match ended at about 4:20 yesterday. And Brian, those were the last 2 strikes we saw before we went home.
So, LBW, or no fielders needed on that hat-trick. 2 clean bowled and an LBW.
Yeah, he needed no assistance at all. And sometimes when you defend, when you depend on your other 10 men, it doesn't happen. So he's taken matter into his own hands for sure.
Great Yorker. Managed to be squeezed down the ground by Sunny Patel, the captain, for a single. 10 runs come from over number 7. 41 for 3.
Yeah, it's 1 over this. They said somewhere along. They said somewhere along the line. There was a wide I didn't put, so let it go. I'll fix it at the end. It's 41. 41, eh?
Apologize for the fact that we don't have the full scorecard at the moment. The technical gremlins are hard at work today, but big picture, after 7 overs, the score is 41 for 3. The Atlanta Fire require another 134 runs in 78 balls at a required rate of 10.31. And I said his name earlier. Here he is into the attack now. Hassan Khan, left arm orthodox. And Lenny, a really precarious time here for the Atlanta Fire.
Yeah, Brian, and in aid of our viewers, we'll try to provide you all the scores as we have lost our scoring bar. But let's do that straight away. Brian Walters is 41 for 3. Sunny Patel on strike, he's on 3. Malik at the other end, he's on 20. And it's 40 for 3 for the time being. 41 for 3, sorry.
Couple of dots to start Hassan Khan's day with the ball. Looks to work it around the corner. And given. Sunny Patel had one stayed just a little bit low on him, crashes into the pads, and umpire Balasubramanian thinks that this would have gone on to disturb the furniture. Wicket number 4 is down, Lenny.
Yeah, trouble here for Fire. They've been in trouble for some time, but here it is. More trouble for them. Hassan Khan comes in. He makes a big impression here in just his 3rd ball, looking to go through the onside. And you're right, may have kept a tad low, and that's the end of the captain, Sonny Patel.
Well, the captain of the Atlanta Fire is dismissed. The former captain of the Oman national side strides to the crease. So he would have had the opportunity to be in situations like this multiple times throughout his career. His long, distinguished career. Started playing in Pakistan, from Pakistan originally, but played for Oman for a number of years, including as captain. These days makes his living here in the U.S., but as of right now, the job is to help his team overcome a target that is approaching almost 11 runs and over, Lenny, so they're in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. They've lost 4. Some key batters at the top of the order. Rishi Pandey without scoring, Milanta for 3, Ansh Dev for 4. And you've just seen the dismissal of Sonny Patel, so not good news here for the Atlanta Fire. And Zishan Maksud, we talked about, as Brian and Shaw Faisal would have mentioned, former captain from Oman, so he comes in here with a lot of work to do.
A lot of work to do indeed, and it's not going to be easy to do it off of the bowling of the Kingsmen. 2 lefties at the crease, and so in theory the ball would be turning into both lefties if they wanted to take power strokes on the leg side, but I think they might have to go through a consolidation period here, Lenny, as the single is taken to deep square leg.
Yeah, we've seen some very good bowling from Ilyas also. Ilyas picked up 2. We talked about 𝗂𝗧 with his 1 wicket needed for a hat-trick. He got it off the very first ball that he bowled, and we've seen one from Hassan Khan. And that's the 𝗂𝗵𝗂𝗃 pavilion. Brian Walters filling up, or it has filled up.
There's a single down to short third. Cleanup work done by young Aaron Satish. End of over number 8. Score is 43 for 4. So 43 for 4, Lenny. Zishan Maksud and Ahad Malik are the batters at the crease. 2 lefties, both capable of hitting big. You have some right arm pace coming into the attack now from the southern end of the ground. This is Akhtar Shah. Akhtar Shah is a good young prospect, and I say young, I don't know exactly how old he is. I would imagine he's around 23 or so. Very powerfully built, tall, has plenty of pace. To me, the most important issue is to see the great Sir Clive Lloyd, waving goodbye. We'll see him tomorrow right here at the 𝗵𝗡𝗏 Sports Complex. But Ahad 𝗵𝗏𝗃, faster bowler. Akhtar Shah, when he gets it right, is very, very hostile, very aggressive. When he gets it wrong is when he sprays it down the leg side and has trouble finding the control. Here, gets it right. The first ball just working to the leg side for a single.
Yeah, he comes from a long line, a very quality bowler from the Kingsmen. And we talked about if Kingsmen goes into the final this afternoon, Brian Walters, it'll be their 3rd finals at the Atlanta Open, having won 1, having lost 1. And Akhtar Shah, and we haven't seen the introduction of their best bowler, Usman Khadir.
He's the type of bowler who essentially spins a web of deceit around his opponent. He is so difficult to score off of. If you were with us yesterday, you would have heard the words of our own Shaw Faisal talking about the Khadir family. Of course, the late Abdul Khadir is the father, former Pakistani leg spinning great. And his son following right in his footsteps. That's a single into the outside. But the fact that they have not yet introduced their best bowler, probably their most difficult bowler to score off of, and you still are now looking upwards of 11.3 and over, it becomes difficult to make an argument for the Atlanta Fire moving on beyond where we are right now.
Yeah, good over so far from 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃. He's only given up 4 in 4 balls. In fact, 3 or 4 balls. Yeah, you're looking at 11.2 is the asking rate, Brian Walters, and we're in the 9th over. And they've lost wickets here at 𝗿𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃, so those numbers certainly not favoring this team that is still wanting 127 to win.
Well, you don't mind singles. Singles are better than the alternative, which is a dot, but just bear in mind that each single makes the required rates go up. And that becomes something that you want to be mindful of, because that required rate now upwards of 11.4.
Yes, a good over from 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃. Very good effort bowler, runs in, give all.
Well, that's what I was referring to. Very good when he gets it right. If he gets it wrong, sprays a couple of wides, including that one not collected cleanly by Remy's Roger Jr., then you give up a couple of bonus runs.
Yeah, you look at Usman Khadir, Brian Walters. He has 13 wickets. Well, we saw Asif Mahmood, the most wickets in the tournament so far. He's up on 15.
Oh, my goodness. This one is down the leg side. So another wide. 3 wides at the end of the over here.
So the target, folks, is 172. So they're batting at, in fact, the 50 comes up with a wide. So they need 122.
Not able to get the single, so that closes things out for over number 9. We all struggle on. We again are trying to make sure that you understand what the big picture is. 50 on the board, as you just heard from Linear Chabar. 122 runs needed in the last 66 balls, needing now to score at the rate of 11.09 and over. So it'll be Milind Kumar to continue. And I think if you're a Kingsmen fan, you'd want to find out if there is anyone in the squad who's a part-time keeper who could be called upon to give Remy's Raja a rest the rest of the way. Up and over the extra cover area, going close to the boundary, diving effort. I think it does well there, Lenny.
Yeah, very good feeling. Looks like Usman Khadir.
Yep.
And we talked about, we haven't seen him yet. Brian Walters, and no problems at all. They've picked up 4 the other bowlers. 52 for 4, Milind Kumar. Still a long way to go. They've still need 120 from 65.
When you watch international cricket matches, there is about, I think someone told me it's about 25 cameras. So you can see multiple angles on any replay that you need. Not quite the number of cameras here, but at least 8, I would guess. And trying to see many different angles they can look at here to see whether or not this was saved.
And here is the interesting, Brian. You talked about what, 25 cameras, and sometimes the ball will go, and with those 25 cameras, even at the top level, at the international level, they're still searching for some of those frames.
This is true. This is true.
You never know where the ball will go, and the ball sometimes will go at a place where totally a dead zone.
Off the back foot, good-looking shot toward us here. It's not going to carry to the rope. In fact, it will carry to the ropes. Wow, I didn't realize that it got that much meat on it. Runs right in front of us here, Lenny, for 4.
Yeah, delicate-looking shot from Malik. Just using the pace of the off-spinner, spinning across him. And just guiding it delicately for a well-deserved boundary. 56 for 4. And we're in the 10th over. Milind Kumar with 6 in the over so far.
Looking to keep picking up singles. And again, you need a lot more than singles, but you also don't want to turn down any runs that you have the opportunity to get. Right now going exactly at a run a ball. 57 runs scored from the 57 balls bowled in this inning so far, and having lost 4 wickets. This is a good piece of fielding. 𝗂𝗏𝗄𝐴 𝗃𝗃, short extra cover. Does the work there to keep the pressure on. Lovely shot, but again, good fielding. Boy, the fielders are absolutely supporting the bowlers here. And the vice grip continues to be squeezed here for the Atlanta Fire. Kingsmen really just applying more and more pressure. Another 115 needed from the last 61 balls in the innings. And just for good measure, 𝗂𝗏𝗄𝐴 𝗃𝗃 feels on the inner circle, just 7 runs coming from the over. You are going to need 11.5 runs and over the rest of the way. The score after 10, 57 for 4.
Shah, first over, went for 7. Faisal comes into the box, and Faisal. And big appeal. So at the stroke of when Faisal walks into the box, Malik goes and another wicket falls.
Yeah, they had to do something about this run rate at the halfway stage. 11.5 was the requirement for the final tell. And Ahad got the thinnest of edges. Akhtar Shah wheels away in celebration. That kept a little low. It has been the tendency after power play. And very well judged catch by Ramiz Raja, down by his shoelaces. And that is a big wicket. The partnership that was threatening to make a comeback for Atlanta Fire has been broken now. And it's 56 for 5. That is green, yeah.
Shah Faisal has picked up his first wicket for the day, and you get the feeling Atlanta Fire under immense pressure here. And from the look of things, it looks like Kingsmen will get to that coveted spot tomorrow. We talked about Stallion X already waiting for the winner here. But we have seen an impressive showing from them, posting 171. And in reply, Atlanta Fire, they're batting a 57 for 5.
Yeah, Jamar Hamilton has walked in. He's rescued situations like this previously. Wow, he needs to be at his best.
Starts well, ball driven into the onside, and you get the feeling that Kingsmen knows pretty well. Unless this team can pick up a couple of boundaries per over, 𝗂𝗡𝗄𝗃 is really going to be tough with those little taps into the field, picking up 1 and 2 at some point. They'll need some boundaries to go with that.
We haven't seen Stephen Taylor yet, but a worried look on the face of Hassan Tariq. Couldn't quite execute that pull shot. Zishan Maqsood. He's still got Azim Charania, who in local cricket is known as a big hitter, so run rate of 11-12 he can manage. But for that length of time, that's what not I'm sure. And this partnership has to come good. There is no two ways about it for Atlanta Fire. It's now or never in this semi-final.
Yeah, he gets an edge. And they go through for 1. And yes, 𝗂𝗡𝗄𝗃. And the only batter that has come up with some score here is Malik. Malik got 29, but you look at the others at the top. 𝗵𝗎 Pandey without scoring. Milanta 3, Ansh Dave 4, and Sonny Patel 3. They're all single-digit figures. Those numbers don't read too well.
Not at all. Atlanta Fire has been on the road constantly. Really look like they've exhausted themselves. Just one hurdle before that big final tomorrow.
Driven into the offside. Lovely shot from Jamar Hamilton. And 𝗂𝗡𝗄𝗃 60 for 5. We are in the 11th over. And for you fans, I know we have lost our scoring bar for the time being, so we'll try to update you on the scores as it happens. And we talked about the Atlanta Fire coming in to this semi-final with a perfect record, having won all their games.
Oh, beautifully bowled, and the finger's gone up. That was a magnificent delivery to the left-hander. And to get him out, playing a defensive stroke off the back foot, that had to be something special from Akhtar Shah.
Yeah, Akhtar Shah has gone on to pick up his second wicket. Look at that. Other than a fast bowler hitting the stumps, 𝗂𝗡𝗄𝗃, this is another beautiful dismissal that fast bowler likes when he can pick the edge.
Look at Zishan on the walk. There you see the follow through, very ungainly. And he knew his fate. That nervous look up. And the confirmation. Zishan Maqsood is gone. And Atlanta Fire really struggling, 60 for 6.
So at 60 for 6, Shadley Van Squawkwick comes to the middle. And we told you the target of 172, so essentially they need 112, 𝗂𝗡𝗄𝗃, from the remaining 9 overs.
Yeah, with 6 wickets down, it is uphill to say the least.
Hassan Khan comes back into the attack. And ball driven in to the offside. Jamar Hamilton hands the strike over to the new man that has come to the middle. And we're seeing an impressive bowling display from the Kingsmen, 𝗂𝗡𝗄𝗃, and we haven't seen Qadir.
Yeah, the the man who is in contention for the leading wicket taker of the tournament. But you look around the field and the body language of Kingsmen, I think they already think that this is in the bag. Probably that partnership between Zishan and Jamar would have given the last hopes to Atlanta Fire. But time is running out.
And 𝗂𝗏𝗄𝗧, are we looking at two Kingsmen brand in the final? I wonder which side 𝗬𝗂 𝘂𝗎𝒃 will be coaching, because he's been helping both teams.
Well, 𝗂𝗎𝒃 and both Grant Bradburn as well. We need to split them both into half. Because they can't be everywhere, both of them. That'll be interesting tomorrow. Oh, it's ballooned up, bobbled off the hands and hit him on the face, I think, and dropped out. Hassan Khan is not bothered. Just a little clap to encourage the youngster despite the mistake.
Yeah, looks like Aryan Satish. Look at that, may have fall. It was dying on him. But a player of his class, Aryan Satish, the young man. You fancy he should have taken that 𝗂𝗏𝗄𝗧.
Yeah, he was in shock laying down. And also he might have got a knock on his nose or somewhere as that ball bubbled up and hit him back up on his face. There you go. Felt the pinch only momentarily. Despite being young, he's quite tough.
It's about cut away. What an effort from that fielder. Looks like Akhtar Shah.
They can't do no wrong here. The big fast bowler. He's not only getting wickets, but he's not letting anything go through. It has been a difficult day with the bat for Atlanta Fire.
Yeah, they still need 109. 63 on the board. They've lost 6. Yeah. Another over comes to a completion. 12 gone now. And it's 63 for the loss of 6. So Akhtar Shah continues. And is this more trouble for the Atlanta Fire? Yes! So ball driven straight back, deflections onto the stumps, and the umpires are just checking. But it could be a goner here for Shadley.
Shadley is already walking back. I think he's seen the deflection. Probably some of our other angles may show that. One thing was clear even from that first replay, that Shadley was out of the ground, and he has been asked to stay. He's staying umpire. Although Stephen Taylor is walking in, but Shadley has been told, don't go anywhere. And that is not conclusive in terms of the bowler getting the hand to the ball. Very conclusive, as Shadley was out of the park, out of his guard rather. This will be a better idea.
Yeah, the big question is if the ball came off Akhtar Shah.
Yeah, umpire wants to have a closer look with the zoomer. There you go. That is excellent quality offered by our production crew. Ball certainly changed direction. The reaction of Shadley and Akhtar Shah were pretty dramatic.
Yeah, a lot of time when batters walk Shah Faisal, it's something that they know. He was right there. Yeah, the big question what they're looking at is whether it came off Akhtar Shah's hand. And the fact is, Shah Faisal, irrespective of what people saw or what Shadley saw or the bowler saw, it has been forwarded for a review. And if the review somehow comes up inconclusive, Shadley could still be batting here.
Well, if that is unconclusive, then the on-field umpire needs to make the call. And he was right there as well, pretty close to the action. That is the general practice, by the way, that is followed in international cricket. Is another angle offered. How about that?
In the meantime, Taylor had walked on, but now Taylor is still waiting a couple of yards. The fact is, I think the umpire went up. Initially, I think the umpire was more concerned whether or not Shadley was out of his crease. But of course, you've got to review whether it came off his hand. And so now, yeah, Denzel James says we're good. And so it looks like it's just, what, a dot ball. Nothing else but a dot ball. Shadley remains.
The fact that the video evidence was inconclusive, that takes us to where the umpire, Denzel James, who was really close to the action, he detected no fingertips from Akhtar Shah. So his decision will prevail. And Shadley was convinced he was out, lives to fight another day. Hold him. That is pretty conclusive and comprehensive. Jamar Hamilton walks back, and with him the last hopes for Atlanta Fire.
Yeah, after a bit of delay and drama, look at this one. Akhtar Shah picks up his third. This one, bang, onto the stumps. Jamar Hamilton realizing 14 runs and over is the ask. And he went for a big one, not today. And Akhtar Shah has picked up another one. Is 63 for the loss of 7.
Certain he didn't see, which is hard to believe.
So Stephen Taylor comes out. Straight away he gets off the mark, Shah Faisal. 7 down, 64 on the board. Trouble here for the Atlanta Fire.
Well, 64, 108 needed. We've seen and we've talked through tales of injured people, injured batters making a difference. I think this is beyond even the best capabilities of Stephen Taylor, let alone the one who's hampered with his injury. 7 down as well. Add to the equation the number of wickets down.
So wide is the call. And 𝗂𝗃𝗃 in the meantime, 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃 has picked up 3 so far. 3 for 12. Best bowling figures out there. We saw Ilyas with 2 so far. 2 for 12.
I think they're saving Usman Qadir for tomorrow maybe.
Into the onside. Good looking shot from Shadley. And it'll pick up a couple of runs. 67 for 7.
Finally, we got the score bar back on, and I think it's up to speed with everything. Couple coming off the last delivery. It was a wide earlier in the over as well. 12.4, 68 for 7. Another 104 required. Required run rate of still 14. Inside edge will run away over the boundary. Finally something to cheer about for the Atlanta Fire fans.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how they come. 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃 inside edge. Passes Ramiz Raja. And goes away for a much needed boundary. They'll need a lot more than that. It's like a little drop in the bucket, 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃. Atlanta Fire and Kingsmen here. We talked about Stallion X is waiting.
That's the DJ playing the music. Music really didn't catch on fire because the response from Atlanta Fire was pretty cold. 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃 has lost it completely. It was so wide that the third man could come around and stop it. The requirement is now under 100. Who's scoring? Cannot see 2 wides. This simple as it's 2 wides and he's put 1.
So Stephen Taylor is the man on strike. And here is 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃, final ball. Gets a good delivery, closes out over number 13. 13 gone, 73, 74 for 7.
Finally gets to see the ball. This could be fun either way. Seven overs to go. This has gone up. How far? Not far enough. Usman Qadir with the wicket of the first delivery. Usama Razak with the catch. And another one bites the dust for Atlanta Fire.
So Shadley finally goes. The 8th wicket falls. The catching has been good. 𝗂𝗏𝗃𝗃 comes in with a first wicket. First ball into his spell. And Kingsmen, it looks like it's going places. And Stallion X, we talked about them already qualified. And it's in fact, it's 74 for 8. And Shaw Faisal, I told you Asif Mahmood was at the top of the heap. On 15 wickets, Usman came into this match with 13, so Usman trails by 1 as the most wicket in the tournament. He has a chance to get there. Asif plays tomorrow.
And so will Usman by the looks of it. So there'll be another shootout, another little contest within a contest. Slip in place for Usman. Azim Charania, like I mentioned just a while ago, he's a big hitter himself. Won't be a big idea to just chance his arm a little bit right now. And if it comes off and lasts for a bit of time, who knows what can happen. There's no other options. But talk about Stephen Taylor. His injury, he's coming out to bat at number 8. With one hand, shouts up, catch it, but it lands in front of Ilyas. A bit of overtime for everyone today. Usually by this time the games are done. We still have 6.5 overs to go.
Yasha Faisal, of course, we saw. Yeah, batsman raises his bat, indicating that came off the bat. And one of the things that have eaten to some of the minutes is the referral things we've had. Usman Khader has really been good in this over.
Beautiful googly. And the pressure is off. Usman can really show off his skills as a leg spinner. Surprised he hasn't got a slip for the left-hander. The way he throws it up in the air and wider off the off stump. Could easily go in that direction off the edge.
Yeah, this is a bowling attack that has everything. Shaw Faisal, in fact, they've got two leggy in Aryan Satesh and of course Khader. The 14th over comes to a close. 78 for 8.
One heart, one heart. 𝗂𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃, one heart, one fight. 846, shorturl.at. One heart, one fight. We apply the pressure. One heart, one fight. We apply the pressure. One heart, one fight.
One heart! One heart!
1 for 9 from Zia ul Haq, including that famous hat-trick that was spread across 2 games, different days. Started on the 10th of October, ended on the 11th of October. And you know what's surprising with that hat-trick, Shaw Faisal? There is a batsman. In fact, all the hat-trick involves the Seattle Thunderbolts, but there's a player, Mayura Lakshmikant. He was involved in all 3.
Oh wow!
Such an amazing. I've got to send an email to ask Stephen. He does reply after 5 months, sometimes 4 months, and ask him if that could be one of the a unique record for minor league. The fact is, the same team, spread across. I mean, today we saw the Atlanta Fire being the third victim from 𝗂 𝗦𝗽𝐺. But the fact is,
Single player.
Single player involving
3 hat-tricks. Wow.
Wow. Amazing. Here is Ilyas. An amazing turn of events here. Look. So Usman Khan got it against Thunderbolt. He got the 3-wicket. 𝗂𝗃𝗄𝗃𝗃, Aryan Desai, Mayura Lakshmikant. Pay attention to Mayura Lakshmikant. Kamrul Rabi got a hat-trick in the 18th over. Aryan Desai, Mayura Lakshmikant in the middle here again, and Krish Khatri. Today, 𝗂 𝗦𝗽𝗺 yesterday finished up with Lakshmikant here. Oh, another wicket falls. And this time, Azim goes. Ilyas picks up one more. Is 77 for the loss of 9.
Well. Atlanta Fire are on the brink. Ilyas with another wicket. Azim showed him all his 3 stumps. And Ilyas says, thank you very much. That celebration told you everything. Look at how Azim went back and could barely reach the ball and swung at thin air as Ilyas celebrates. 77 for 9, Atlanta Fire.
So, no.
Who are these? No, I got this.
Amazing.
We're talking about hat tricks, and Kamrul Rabi is the man who took a hat trick. This time, fearlessly comes down at Ilyas and picks up a couple of runs to reduce the margin of eventual defeat, as it is so evident now.
Yeah, 79 for 9. And the writing is on the wall here for the Atlanta Fire. Ilyas, in the meantime, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 has picked up 3 for 15. He has had a good day. Yeah, Kamrul allows one to go through. So we talked about Kamrul having been part of the couple of editions of the Global Super League played in Guyana. Rangpur Riders. And I think in one of the edition, I remember 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, the first one I did see Hassan Tariq there.
Yeah, he's the owner of, he's the partner owner of Rangpur Riders as well, the team coming out of BPL, the Bangladesh Premier League.
Yeah, into the offside. That completes another over. Ilyas finishes 3 for 15 so far. 15 gone. Is 79 for the loss of 9.
Usman Qadir. Taylor has seen the wreckage after he arrived quite late himself because of that injury. really hampered Atlanta Fire's batting lineup and their batting plans. The big man, their talismanic opener, generally sets the tone. He's injured. Usman Khadir just threw the ball up, knowing that Taylor's hand is injured and he may not impart the power that he normally does. It went through him.
Well, without having seen the actual ball, meaning we're sort of at deep third, I'm guessing that was the googly. And it's tossed up and turns away from the left-handed, hitting Stephen Taylor. And a couple of runs, but boy, this is just all an exercise in futility at this point.
Out on its way. Even with one hand, Taylor can put away the full toss. Muted applause from the Atlanta Fire fans.
Very muted applause. Full toss, that is literally one-handed, almost like an underhanded tennis serve, if you will.
Very nonchalant.
And they're almost at the halfway stage in terms of runs needed, if you can believe that. 27 balls remaining, 19.3 runs and over is what they need. And just one wicket in the shed. Usman Khadir looking to weave a web, continue to weave a web around the last rights being offered here by the Atlanta Fire.
Goes around the wicket. And Googly from around the wicket. Beautifully bowled.
That's just 6 runs from the over so far. Dot, 2, 4, and dot. And oh, that was almost the end of the game, Shah Faisal, but Stephen Taylor gets 4.
Well, Taylor showing what he's capable of despite the injury. So 4.4 and 10 of the over, including the 2 byes.
Driven through the offside. This is essentially turning into, almost feels like a net session, Shah Faisal. It's all over but the shouting. Stephen Taylor having some time in the middle. I don't know that he needs it necessarily, but he's taking advantage of the opportunity to get some free runs at the bottom of the lineup. For a change, 11 runs coming from over number 16. 90 is on the board. The small matter of 82 needed in the next 24 balls, Shah Faisal.
Yeah, those last 4 deliveries gave me the feeling of a good old test match when Usman bowled the googly around the wicket. Taylor leaving it alone. A cultured leave followed by a cultured cover drive and the little nudge into the gap. And no hustle for the second. Good old format of test cricket. We see everything in that format just at a slower pace, at a leisurely pace, and it for a lot longer period of time.
Oh my goodness, yes. Nothing like good old test cricket. This says the 2 old guys. But as it relates to this match, this is going to be another over bowled here by Mohamed Ilyas. Mohamed Ilyas, brilliant fast bowler. You've seen his wares on display here so far this afternoon. Stephen Taylor in the air.
And a couple of bounces over the infield. Yeah, impressive bowling performance from Mohamed Ilyas, as there's a little sloppiness is happening at the moment. I think Kingsmen.
Look at Stephen Taylor.
Taylor wants another one. He loves batting. Even with the injury, he wants to continue to bat.
He sees the funny part of it. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, talking about Ilyas, almost a man of the match contender. I think, well, I don't know why I said almost. Because he was the one, his spell really rocked the run chase. Contributions with the bat were shared around between Sharjeel, Saad Ali, Ramiz and Awazia. But Ilyas with the ball, that early burst really meant that the Atlanta Fire chase never got off the blocks.
Early burst was critical. Well, when you take out the head of the snake, if you will. 𝗵𝗫𝗫𝐿𝐴 clean bowls 𝗲𝗲𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏, clean bowls 𝗃𝗵𝗃𝗃 Pandey. I might have got the order wrong, but the idea is he took out the two openers, set the team back, and really Atlanta Fire never were able to get anything of substance generated towards a successful potential chase of this target.
Yeah, absolutely. That was critical. And also, look at the amount of runs he's conceded. Nothing much came in that first spell either. So I think will be the favorite for that Player of the Match award. Oh, this is how good this is to see. Little kids running around the outfield.
Kids running around the outfield. After all, that's what this whole thing is all about, Shah Faisal. Stephen Taylor is essentially making a joke out of the proceedings at the moment. And I think he obviously knows he is probably going to be in a much better mood than the management team of the Atlanta Fire. And no shame in losing to a great team, and no shame in being the victim of just classic hostile fast bowling. 𝗵𝗫𝗫𝐿𝐴 being chief among them. Ooh, hostile fast bowling is what I just asked for. That's just what I got.
Absolutely, and I think Atlanta Fire can't be too disappointed. They've won the minor league championship, made it to the semi-final here. Very competitive field here as well. Going unbeaten through the group, so they've had a good run. I think a rest day has jinxed both the teams that finished top of the groups yesterday. Both of them took rest, and Clarion Eagles earlier in the day succumbed to a heavy defeat, and looks like it's Atlanta Fire's turn.
Another bouncer. And this one is not collected cleanly by 𝗏𝗵 Raja. I believe this will be a bye. With confirmation on that as soon as we get it, but yep, there's a signal from umpire Denzel James. A bye brings up run number 97. One ball remaining here in over number 17. Stephen Taylor, 16 from 12. Kamrul Rabi, 3 from 6.
One last chance for Ilyas to cap off his wonderful performance and get to his 4th wicket. Throw came at the non-striker end, but the striker end rather, and Kamrul Rabi was in. Ilyas finishes off a sterling effort in the semi-final, 3 for 22, and Atlanta Fire after 17, 98 for 9. Taylor batting at number 8, 17 of 13 balls. It's only an indication of what it might have been if he was able to come at his usual spot. Second top scorer already after Ahad Malik. In fact, none other of his teammates could get into double figures. So Ahad Malik with 30, Taylor with 17. I can't believe if that is correct.
Sliced away over the top. Should be a couple of runs here. Stephen Taylor settling in and turns down the opportunity for the 3rd. In fact, does not even look back at his partner. That double bringing up the 100. So maybe a very Pyrrhic milestone reached here for the Atlanta Fire. Pretty sure that they're going to go down here in the chase. Only 72 runs needed, or I should say 72 runs needed Only 17 balls remaining.
It's just going through the motions, you feel.
Very much so. couple of other opportunities here. So the first ball of this over going for 2. The second one, a very comical dot ball. The ball traveled halfway around the park, but nobody choosing to take any additional runs here. Stephen Taylor, interestingly, and I was suggesting this about 10 overs ago, if you're going to have a wicket keeper who somebody else is on the park who can keep wicket, be good to save Ramiz Raja for tomorrow's final. I think it's pretty safe to assume that the Kingsmen will be the second team in the final here. And it's now going to be the form of the new keeper is going to be
𝗂𝗂𝗃𝗃.
Thank you.
And
thanks for the assist.
actually, you called it nice and early because Ramiz now has got a knock. That's why he's walking off. He's may have got a chipped finger again. Life of wicketkeeper. And it can happen anytime. Even in the contest, this game as a contest is over quite a while ago.
Yep.
But that injury, Ramiz will have to nurse it through the night and early morning to come back for the afternoon start of the final. I'm pretty sure he's tough. He'll do whatever patch-up is needed, but he's not going to want to miss that final. Maybe he won't keep 𝗂𝗂𝗃𝗃.
I was thinking the same thing. You have him in the lineup. He's an explosive batter at the top of the order. You have a high-level keeper who's also in the side. Just have him, Ramiz Raja, play as a batter only. Snaking up at him with that delivery.
Yeah, Usman has changed his angles. Really showing off. That's the time when the pressure is off.
Exactly.
I've been telling about how skillful Usman is. It's just when you put pressure back on him, sometimes he then provides you with those loose deliveries. But if you allow him to bowl, you'll spin one way and the other against the other direction, and don't forget the quicker one, the slider. So pressure is off, and he's now trying everything. Changing the angle again. Going around the wicket. He's gone straight up, but lands safely. And Taylor didn't cross over for a single.
Oh my goodness. Net practice at this stage is what it feels like, as we mentioned a second ago. All of the drama gone out of this game. For what it's worth, the required rate is almost 31. That's skied. Nobody, in fact, yes, there is somebody out there, but he needed to have been about 20 feet tall to be able to get that. That is a huge 6 over mid wicket for Stephen Taylor.
And Taylor not giving up the fight. Enjoying his knock. Once again, the hand coming off of the handle. Just relying on that top hand, which is well and good. Bottom hand, the left hand, is the one that is hurting. And that's not Brian Walters, that's me. It's just comical.
You were doing your best Brian Walters impression, Shah Faisal.
As close as I could get. Nothing like that.
Stop. End of over number 18, 108 for 9. Akhtar Shah. That was a great day with the ball, Akhtar Shah. As I said earlier, Shah Faisal, he can be erratic. He can spray the ball down the leg side. He can go so wide with his delivery that it's deep third that collects it. But when he gets it on point, he can be generally very, very aggressive, and he can be destructive.
You mentioned throughout the week, at times when we saw him bowl, there is a little bit of something in his action that needs sorted. But when he gets everything going in one direction, he is lethal. And that's another of those things.
Right on
Misses up
cue.
his run up. And good thing he didn't go with the ball. Sometimes you'll see him go through and deliver the delivery, which is not the right thing. Any youngsters watching, if you're not comfortable with your run up, with your approach to the wicket, it's better to stop and try again.
Yep.
That is exactly what Brian Walters was talking about.
I really like him. He's a young man. And again, earlier I guessed his age at about 23. I can stand to be corrected on that. But very, very pleasant. That doesn't count for anything necessary on the field, but very pleasant and very warm and engaging. And then again, for me, when he gets it right on the field, he can be a fearsome weapon.
We've seen evidence of this just today as well. The wickets that he took, he bowls fast, he bowls straight, like to target the stumps, and it's no better sight than a big fast bowler running in and knocking the stumps over.
My goodness, yes. And do you remember the last ball of his previous over? A snorter that sort of had Stephen Taylor jumping and fending. And for me, when he gets it in that area, that's when he's most dangerous.
And also not to forget the ball that he produced to get Zishan Maqsood. That really cut and climbed on the left-hander. And he was beaten on the defensive shot off the back foot. A very good player to beat him on the defensive shot. It has to be a good ball. And Akhtar Shah did produce a good ball to get rid of Zishan. That was also important in the game because there was time available at that time for Zishan to mount a serious challenge.
Sure.
I should say.
Sure.
Because I was just disappointed to see the wide in the meantime. Akhtar Shah is really showing us every aspect of his game. Good, bad, and not so good.
Good, bad, and the ugly. That's harsh. Good, bad, and
not good.
Quite so good. More fans in that area over there. And once again, Shah, probably the last time we'll have to mention this. It is completely free to attend the final tomorrow with chief guest, the great Sir Clive Lloyd. I'm sure the great man will have some part to play both in the opening ceremonies as well as the proceedings throughout the day.
The forecast weather, absolutely gorgeous. That goes past Osama Razak, complete in contrast with Ramiz Raja, the way he climbed up off his feet and tried to stop that one. Yeah, talking about temperature tomorrow, bright and sunny. 76 degrees. Game of cricket cannot be played in a better weather than that.
If you put in a call to the weather gods and asked for a day for a final worthy of the two great teams that will be playing tomorrow, that's what it would look like. 76, if you're sitting in the shade at 10 o'clock in the morning, it's a little chilly. But my goodness, the day itself will be fine. Unfortunately, not quite fine is the radar with Akhtar Shah. That's the third wide in this over. Flirted dangerously with a fourth, but I think was given a reprieve by umpire Denzel James.
Yeah, this has been a very, very, very long over. And if you look at the contribution of the extras, Brian Walters, they must be pretty close to being the top scorer.
I would not be surprised. Look at that delivery. Quick and at the body. Very late on the attempted pull is 𝗂𝗄𝗃𝗄𝗃.
Get ready for this now, Brian.
Yorker.
27 extras.
27 extras in a score of 114. That to me sounds like a huge portion, somewhere around 20% of the runs being scored in extras. That's coaches essentially will be very upset at that.
Smashed away, but straight to the sweeper on the offside, and finally Akhtar has bowled out his over. A disappointing finish to an otherwise a wonderful spell of bowling. And he's now finished with 3 for 26 of his 4. 19 gone, 115 for 9.
ehimZ Satish will be bowling the last over. Did he get the googly in? Stephen Taylor wanted to aim for the fences on that one.
And then held the pose. Where is
Where's the cameraman?
photographer? Yeah, he held it for quite a few seconds.
Well, that's what he was looking to try and do. That actually goes over the side screen into the next field. Huge 6 for Stephen Taylor. Way too little, way too late, but that one will look good on Facebook later on.
How beautiful a strike was that. How easy on the eye. It's so much power in the shot, but with so much grace and poise.
Yep.
No hint of slog. 0%. It sailed over the side screen. Wonderful talent this man is.
For a decade and a half or so here in the U.S.
And ever present for Atlanta Fire. I think his name goes hand to hand with the franchise. Well, it's gone somewhere, but not for runs. The man with the spectacles, 𝗂𝗧, he saw it better. Need to get the address of the optician where he is going, because sun is getting low. I can't see that white ball anymore from a distance.
So we're just going through the motions here, executing the last rites. Maybe this is an extended net session for Stephen Taylor to be ready to take his place in the top order in the final next year, maybe, because this is all but done.
So interestingly, what Lenia Chabar mentioned about the hat-trick stat, that one person featured in all 3 hat-tricks in this tournament, the margin of victory in the first semi-final was 51 runs. And it is exactly the same. If it's a dot ball, both the semi-finals would have been won or lost by the margin of 51. Taylor is not bothered about the single. How about that?
He heard you.
The stumps are off, and Atlanta Fire is knocked out of their home tournament by Kingsmen. But you cannot argue that they played the best cricket. Stephen Taylor tried his best and dragged the innings to 20 overs, where the last wicket had fallen in over number 15, the 9th wicket. And Taylor made sure they bat out the entire overs. He finished 34 not out, the top scorer, followed by Ahad Malik's 30 and plenty of extras. No other batter getting into the double figures, and that was the Achilles heel in the run chase for Atlanta Fire. But a thoroughly comprehensive performance from Kingsmen. The last 20 minutes or so probably took a little bit of gloss off of their performance, but the result was secured by then. Lahiro Melantha and Rishi Pandey couldn't do much. Ansh Dawait, number 3, single-digit scores. Ahad Malik breaks that sequence, but then further single-digit scores for Zishan Maksud, Sunny Patel, Jamar Hamilton. The heart of middle order was ripped out before Stephen Taylor came in and played a lone hand of 34 of 27 balls. Took the innings deep into 20 overs. Look at those extras. Very generous Kingsmen.
You have 𝗃𝐥𝐵, the third leading scorer on the side, then you know you're in trouble as a bowling unit. 𝗵𝗵𝗫 𝗂𝗃𝗃, the batting unit rather. 𝗵𝗵𝗫 𝗂𝗃𝗃, I think, was aggressive. 4 overs, 3 for 22. 𝗵𝗫 Kumar, economical. 𝗬𝗏𝗪, first ball, getting that hat trick. And Hassan Khan doing what he does, 1 wicket and just 5 runs conceded in his 2 overs. And the run of ball stuff. Akhtar Shah, I thought, again, very good in terms of his aggression. Wants to clean up those wides, and he'll get it right. When he does that, he'll be a much better player than he is right now, and he's already very good. And then just 1 over at the end here from Akhtar Shah. So there's your summary. The Kingsmen, mostly from the bat of Saad Ali, 46 from 29. And it would have been Sharjeel Khan, 44 from 29. Ramiz Raj chipping in with 32 from 25, and a pretty solid victory for me because the Atlanta Fire not really able to mount much resistance. So I think you've seen all kinds of efforts from the Atlanta Fire, but ultimately falling short. The Kingsmen winning by 51 runs. You heard that Shah Faisal said that that's also the margin of victory in the other semifinals. So we'll be coming right now to the captain of the team for the Atlanta Fire, Sunny Patel.
Thank you, Brian Walters. I'm with Sunny Patel, the captain of the losing team today in the semi-finals. Sunny Patel, they say you can't win it all.
True. They actually, credit goes to Kingsmen. They played better cricket than us in all the departments, so they deserve the win.
All right, it's been a long time on the road. You've already captured a big one last Sunday, but a big performance again from the Atlanta Fire, but you came up short in the semi.
Yeah, boys played very well throughout the tournament, even in minor league, and even in this tournament they gave a good effort. So I'm happy with the effort the team has put on.
All right, final question. What went wrong for the Fire today?
I think they played better cricket than us today.
All right, so folks, there you have it. Thank you, Sunny Patel. Sunny Patel, the captain of the Atlanta Fire. I'll send it back up to the box. Shah Faisal and Brian Walters.
Thank you very much, Lenny. Obviously, very disappointed, Sunny Patel. And they really didn't show up at the contest today. They started out a little cold, and Sharjeel Khan started the partnership. But this is the innings highlight, and it did not start well. Rishi Pandey and then Lahiru Milantha were taken down by Ilyas early doors. There was some resistance in between, but that only brief innings of substance came from Ahad Malik from the top 4. He tried to keep the fight going, but he had no support. Anish the way with the hat-trick for 𝗬𝗏𝗪𝗪.
Absolutely. There's your hat-trick ball. And then beyond that, you had a 6. Had a couple moments of brilliance. But the wickets just kept falling. Look at this. Quicker wrapping him in front of the pad. Umpire says, yep, you're on your bike. Then the next delivery here, or the next highlight here, is Akhtar Shah. Big edge. Look at him celebrate once again. When he gets it right, he's such a good bowler. Shah Faisal.
Yeah, and that's more evidence of that. Brilliant ball to get rid of a quality player.
That's the best of all the balls he bowled today.
Or even that. Jamar Hamilton. At that stage, the run rate was climbing. And when Shadley came in, it was pretty much a losing cause with Stephen Taylor out injured.
This is a good catch. Well judged on the boundary and just taking it. Went very high in the air, but all of a sudden you saw that. And then the Mohamed Ilyas coming back to do what he did. A little bit of fun at the end, the 4 and a 6. That was the 4, the one-handed 4, and then this big 6 Shah Faisal right over the top.
Yeah, Taylor by that time now was just having fun. He wanted to take the innings deep, but he still wasn't in the mood to spare any loose stuff. And his battle with Usman was quite intriguing. But that was the last rites of the happenings. And now I think Lenia Chabar is ready with the winning captain, Syed Saad Ali from Kingsmen.
Thank you, Shah Faisal. Saad Ali, big moment here for the Kingsmen. You're into the 2025 Atlanta Open Final.
Yes, so the first thing is thanks to Allah, we will final continuously for the second time for Atlanta, and the against team also our team. So yes, that's a good moment for us.
Yeah, in 17 hours or so later, you come back here to take on the Stallions X. How has been the campaign so far, and especially today's game into the final?
Yes, Stallions is our team, and our camp is very excited, and yes, let's see what happens for tomorrow game.
All right, our final question. All your players are fit, everybody's ready to go again in 17 hours time?
Yes, just our players is ready for tomorrow, and just some players is just a little bit tough for the fitness carry on, and but this is the final, so we just try to fix them.
All right, so go well. Good luck, Saad Ali and the Kingsmen. They storm into the final. We'll hand it over back to the box, Shaw Faisal and Brian Walters.
Well, there you have it. Good words of wisdom from Saad Ali, the captain. He will be captain of one of the teams in the final. And the other team that we'll find here in the final, you saw Stallions X. I think you'll see that information appear on your screen shortly. But I'll tell the rest of the luminaries. I believe there will be some dignitaries around. There is the graphic we're talking about. Noon Central Standard Time, the 25th match of the tournament. October 12th, you'll see the Stallions Cricket Club against the Kingsmen. Ladies and gentlemen, it will be a good one. Against the Kingsmen. Ladies and gentlemen, it will be a good one. Please join us tomorrow in the meantime.